Hey, what's up, everybody? How are we all doing? Welcome to CrowCast episode 58. We're not in Kansas anymore, son.
We're on the road. We're finally on the road, son.
We're on the Willie Nelson, son. On the
We're
road
on the
again.
58 weeks.
Yeah, it's so amazing to be bringing CrowCast to you outside our studios in our houses. It's absolutely incredible. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for joining us every Tuesday. The Crow family, there you are. Oliver May, yo. Fiona, evening all. So excited to hear Trucker Diablo on Anchor Lane. Yeah, so we, evening Crow family, David Franks. Thank you guys for joining us. How are you, Ron?
I am very well, mate. I've been so excited for this. Like I said, it's been 58 weeks. We did try it before. Similar location as well. So, we knew we could make it work. We knew we could make it work. But the truth is, for anybody watching this right now, so everything was fine. We did all the mic checks, the camera checks, and literally about 5 minutes before we came on, everything started going wrong, didn't it? Everything started going wrong. So bear with us. We always said we'll try and keep it going live as long as we can. You never know. I might end up on the camera with you, Shane. You might end up up here. We're going to check in with the boys as well later. They're currently setting up stuff in the studio. We've come away together. We're doing a bit of writing, which is fantastic. This is bizarre. You all might be thinking, well, why didn't you just sit next to Shane? Actually, I don't know why we didn't know. I don't know why we didn't. I genuinely don't know why we didn't. That was a really good question by Gerwin, wasn't it, Shane? He actually said 5 minutes before we come on, well, why didn't you just do it all together? And I'm thinking, that's too bloody good of a question, that is. No, we like to make it difficult. So, yeah, Shane's in one part of the house, in the residential. I'm currently in Harry Potter's cupboard. So there we are. He's in there. Get in there, Harry. And the boys are in the control room as well. So, like I said, coming up as well, we've got the fabulous boys of Empire. So we're going to be having a chat with them, and we've got also Trucker Diablo as well. Both guys got records out, both got stories to tell of what they've been doing through COVID. So it's quite a jam-packed show, Shane.
It really is, bud. And if you can keep it down in that broom cupboard, please, I can hear you upstairs.
It's bloody Harry. Get on that cut, Harry. Get on that cut. Yeah, Jesus.
You're a wizard, Ronnie. You're a wizard.
Now we've kicked into full momentum. It's like being in a band, isn't it? You kind of jam, you tap, tap. Now the show started, the voices have raised, and you're probably like, fucking hell, keep it down up there, So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Have to watch her. We'll have to watch her.
We brought look at Ronnie's little backdrop there, those damn crows. That was our first backdrop on our first gig. It's absolutely tiny.
It is it looks massive next to me.
Well, that's true. Then we upgraded to this.
Yes.
So we've gone bigger again now, absolutely massive. So they've come out just for this, to sort out the backdrop, because we haven't got our normal studios. So bear with us. We hope the signal's good. But we should have a lot of fun tonight anyway.
Yeah, a lot of fun on May the 4th as well, Greenall. May the 4th be with you.
That's right.
What's it? Happy Star Wars Day, you know?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Star Trek again. Yeah. That's the one.
Bit of that in there. Live long and prosper, everybody.
Just winding him up.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, for anybody who's watching previous CrowCast, I do love a bit of banter with the Star Wars fans. You know, the old Ewoks and all of that stuff. Not into it myself. Although I did like the Mandalorian. That was pretty cool. That was.
Oh, it was epic. Wasn't it?
It was epic, but we can probably have a good chat about that later. Like I said, jam-packed show. We've got Empire coming up. We've got Trucker Diablo coming up. But shall we have a guest?
Yes, let's have the first of three guests. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the front man of Anchor Lane, Mr. Connor Gaffney.
Hello. Hey, how you doing, Connor?
I'm all right, yourselves?
Yes, man. Yeah, all good, son.
We're coping you. This is all different for us. Where are you two, Connor?
What's that, mate?
Where are you two right now?
Oh, I'm in my room. Just this is where I'm based for all my kind of teaching and a lot. Well, when we were in true lockdown, this is where I was doing all my writing and kind of stuff like that as well. So
I thought you were going to say this is where all the magic happens. Then, is it?
in many ways.
So obviously, in Scotland, though, yeah, where you living?
Oh, I live in Glasgow.
Glasgow, yeah.
Just wee village called Middlesbrough, which is about, I don't know, about 6 or 7 miles outside Glasgow.
Yeah. So what are you studying, Bert? You just mentioned it then. What are you learning?
Oh, I'm teaching. So I am now the master. I'm no longer the student. I teach vocals. I do vocal lessons.
How much you charge?
How much you willing to pay?
Oh, don't ask me that. It'll be nothing. I've got a couple of beers.
Listen, man, that's good by me.
Oh, that's really cool, dude. I didn't know you did that. That's amazing, bud.
Yeah, well, it was something I started up when lockdown happened because Anchor Lane weren't gigging, and you know, I thought I'm going to need to come up with something that's going to make me a bit of money and also be flexible enough so that when gigs come back, I can work around it and it can kind of be on my own schedule to a certain degree. So, and it's something that I'd kind of been learning for a long time. I'd worked with a vocal coach for about a year and a half, 2 years, called Rico Frankie, who's based in Newton Mearns, which is kind of on the other side of where Glasgow is.
Yeah.
Kind of further towards like Ayrshire and whatnot. So I worked with him and learned a lot from him, and then kind of spent about a year working things out for myself. And then COVID hit, and I thought, do you know what? I've been thinking about this for like a year. If there's ever a time to start setting things up and getting myself educated properly so that I can teach it, it's now.
Fantastic. So was it a massive difference, like obviously going out and singing and gigging and then actually learning, you know, the techniques and stuff?
Oh man, I mean, like when I got my first lesson, I was 21, and so that was like 21 years of bad habits having to get done. And things were really starting to pick up with the same time, and I was like, if I'm getting as serious as it's getting, I need to know what I'm doing and know how to look after my voice and how to use it. And so it's probably the best decision I've made for my, you know, my kind of personal music career.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So what age were you, bud, when you found out you had a voice?
Oh, this was a funny one. I was thinking about this the other day. I think I kind of always sang, like my family all sing, like all my dad's side, like, you know, we have parties and it's like, you know, my dad and my brothers and my cousins and my aunts and uncles, and, you know, they get the guitar out and everyone sings and everything. So I've always kind of sang, but the moment where I realized I had like a voice was, I think I was about 10 and I was singing in the school choir, which was obviously the most rock and roll thing that I could do at that point. There was just this like moment where my voice changed from singing like, oh glory, to like, oh glory. And I was like, oh, what's happened here? Something's like, there's substance here.
They dropped. They dropped.
Yeah. Yeah. That was it. Oh, hello.
All of a sudden, you sound like Barry White. That's brilliant. Nah, but hey, anybody, all the Crow family, anybody haven't seen Anchor Lane, Connor's got a great voice. Absolutely brilliant voice. Great band, bud. So obviously, the shitstorm, the pandemic has ruined live gigs for all bands. Tell us the story, bud, about the album and stuff.
Well, so we brought our album Casino out on the 31st of January, 2020.
Yes.
So we did a wee tour up and down the UK, played a few dates in the week and the run up to it releasing. And it came out and we were like, wow, this is the start of everything. We played a few more shows in Scotland. We played a couple of shows with the guys in Massive Wagons. And then 2 weeks later, everything was in lockdown and we were absolutely gutted. But it's one of those ones where, like, as we say, you know, everyone wasn't gigging. So it's not as if like it's just us who was stuck in limbo. Everybody was the same. And we kind of had the discussion with like both ourselves and then also our management team you know, and we were like, we're glad we got it out when we did, because at least it's out there and people can hear what Anchor Lane's about. And, you know, it's an album that we're immensely proud of. So, you know, we're so glad that it's out there and people can hear it. And, you know, you're stuck in lockdown and you can go, here's a new band, let's see what they're all about.
Yeah, and for those unfamiliar with the journey or and all that, like you said, you started singing in school. When did Anchor Lane start, Connor? When because we met you on the Stone Broken tour, we never met you before. Couple of shows in, you know, we were honest with you in the car park. We were like, we're really into the tunes, loved the vibe, especially like your newer stuff. I can remember saying that to you, and Shane did as well, because you know, we could hear like a lot of Alice in Chains, and I just really like the new vibe. But how did it all start, dude? For anybody who doesn't know, and
so it all started. I went to college in the Academy of Music and Sound in Glasgow, and it was one of those ones. Like I went to college to meet musicians and, you know, and form a band and do this. This is what I wanted to do, and so grabbed I had a drummer, we had a bassist, there was another guitarist at the time, and we were playing a few gigs. We weren't called Anchor Lane at the time, but that was when the sort of journey started. The guitarist, the first guy who was the guitar player, Lee, left about the same time that Jack, our first proper guitarist, joined. Jack Nichol. I don't know if I think you guys maybe met Jack once, but he wasn't on the Stone Broken tour.
Yeah.
I think he spoke to you guys at Wildfire or something like that.
Yeah.
So Jack was with us for a while. You know, lost a few members along the way and gained a few more. You know, I'm trying to think. It's been so long, man. Honestly, see, talking about this thing. We lost a drummer and we brought in, you know, Scott Hanlon, who was with us to record and write Casino. And Matthew Quigley joined us as well prior to Scott joining us. Matthew's been in the band, you know, from about 6 months. It was called Anchor Lane. 6 months in, Matthew was in the band. So, yeah, it's just been there. And it was just kind of, you know, once we had a core group of people who were all like-minded, this is what we want to do, let's give it all of our energy. It was just getting gigs. I mean, if you asked any promoter in Glasgow, I was a pain in the arse. You know, oh, can we get on this gig? Can we get on that gig? Can we get that gig? And that's what you've kind of got to do. And then eventually that got us to a point where, you know, we supported the guys in Mason Hill at the garage when they sold it out, and we met our management there, and then from there our management was able to then take us to the next level, and we did the tour with you guys in Stone Broken, played Download Festival, you know, recorded and released our album. So it's, you know, it's been a great ride so far.
Yeah, I was going to say that the momentum was really quick with you guys, because some bands it does take a little bit to kind of click or to fall into place, especially with the right team, as you said there. You seem to find our right team, and things started happening for you, because, you know, we're always the same. If we see a good band on the road, we always keep an eye and see how everybody's doing in the pool and stuff. And I noticed with you guys, it went from, you know, you were there, and then all of a sudden Stone Broke, and then it was right, you're recording the record, then the gigs were flying in, so it was all happening really, really quick for you, like, you know.
Yeah, it was quite crazy, because when I think back at it now, I'm like, we weren't ready for that. That's how I feel. I don't know if that's imposter syndrome, but it was one of those things where I look back at it and I go, goodness sake, like, we were like 21, 22, you know, and it's like, oh, do you want to play this gig? Do you want to play that gig? Oh, management deal, blah, blah, blah. And it's all the things that you, like, when you're a wee guy and you're 15 and you're in, you know, some sweaty wee band room somewhere, that you dream about things happening like this, and oh, imagine that happened. And it was all happening just in this one big, you know, mess of things getting thrown at you. But I'm quite happy to say that we dealt with it well, and we're still here, and we're still working hard, and still writing, you know, exciting music.
And where did you end up recording the record as well? Because I remember having a chat with you potentially where you were going, but I don't know if it ended up kind of lining up and stuff. Or
so we recorded down in Vale Studios, which is just outside Worcester, with Toby Jepson, who produced it for us.
Yeah.
Great guy, obviously frontman and singer of Wayward Sons and Little Angels and everything else. But yeah, Toby was great. That's where Toby works out of. He works out of Vale Studios, and fantastic. If you ever get a chance to go down there and record, it's fantastic. It's like this big mansion, and it's you roll up to it and it's like Wayne Manor, and like a third of it is a studio, and then the other 2/3 of it is the guy who owns it, Chris. It's him and his family, they live there.
Right.
And so there's like living quarters above it and stuff like that. So it was really, really amazing. And to just be there and like you're in the recording studio and you're living above it and you're just absorbed in it for 2.5 weeks to just completely immerse yourself in the project.
How was it with you and Toby as well? Did you send him some demos, or did he kind of come up to Scotland? Did you have to hook up before you started recording? Because we've worked with producers as well. Everybody's completely different.
Yeah. So we met Toby at Winterstorm. Our manager Doogie kind of cornered him and was like, "We're looking for a producer. I hear you do a bit of production." And just as he was kind of cornering Toby, I came around the corner and I was like, "Oh, how you doing?" And was chatting to Toby, and he said, "I only work with stuff that I really feel passionate about." He said, "Don't take it personally." He was like, "If I don't like what I hear, it's just that I don't feel like I can properly immerse myself in it." And I was kind of like, "Well, same for me. I don't want you to work on something that I'm totally like 100% involved in, and pouring everything I've got into it for you to then kind of just be doing it because we asked you to, rather than being actually passionate about the project." So luckily, obviously, listened to the demos that we sent him, and he was quite happy. He thought, "Oh, there's some stuff here we can work on." So he came in to our studio that we've got in Glasgow, and said, "Okay, this is kind of let's listen to the demo." I think we had maybe 20 demos or something at this point, and it was all kind of all over the place. And you know how it can be sometimes, where some songs work together, and then there's other songs that you're like, "I have no idea what this is," but it's just here for if there's an idea. And so he kind of coupled about 6 or 7 songs together and went, "This is what you're best at. All this other stuff can just go away." So he was like, "Take these songs, write more songs like this." And so it would just be that way, where he would come up every kind of month. He would come up for 2 months, 2 or 3 months. I can't really remember at this point. He would come up and just kind of listen to what we were doing. We would send him recordings and things like that. And he would essentially say, "Yeah, like that," and a lot of it was kind of flipping things on its head, or like this chorus and like that bridge, but change the verses, things like that. So he really helped kind of focus what we were trying to achieve with the band, with the identity of the band.
Yeah, man. Go on, Shane. Sorry, dude.
No, I mean, it's just his experience. He's been there. He's done it. He knows what it takes to have a hit song. He's had several, many. Was it a case of because I heard Ricky Warwick is on the album. How did that happen?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. So this is where our manager Doogie was really great, because he knew Ricky from back in the Almighty days,
right?
And they'd kind of kept in touch. So he gave Ricky a message and said, "Listen, I've got this band, Anchor Lane. Ricky's from Belfast, but he also stayed in Scotland for a few years in his teens. And then the Almighty they were about the Glasgow circuit, so he's got a connection with Glasgow." So our manager basically said, "I've got this band from Glasgow, young guys. Would you think about doing some co-writing with them?" Because I think Ricky had done some co-writing with the Amorettes. So we knew that he was into the co-writing thing, and he said, "Yeah, great." He said, "I'll come over and we'll spend the weekend together and we'll write some songs." Great guy, just came in and was just one of the boys for the weekend, and we just wrote songs and had a few beers at night, and it was great. I can't speak highly enough of the guy. In terms of songwriting, he's fantastic. He's so fast at coming up with lyrics. I was like trying to keep up with him, and he's like, "Oh, what about this? What about that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, can I have a go?" Gonna just slow down, mate, so I can try and write the song with you.
That's class, man.
But he's so on it all the time. But it's just, you can tell that he just writes all the time, and it's such a well used muscle for him.
Yeah. I mean, he's so lucky, dude. You know, the age you are and the people you've worked with already. Like, do you know what I mean? You've played Download.
Fantastic.
Yeah, man. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We found Ricky really really settling. Because bizarrely we met him on here, which has been like the majority of our meets, like, you know, which is a weird way as well, at least with yourself, and all the boys who are coming on tonight. We've met you all, we've played gigs with you, but yeah, it was really weird, you know, kind of getting together with Ricky, and we kind of wanted it in that perfect environment, whether it be a gig or, you know, and then, like you said, have a couple of beers after, but just so settling when Shane. He was just like as if we've known him for like 20-30 years, like, do you know what I mean? It's such a nice guy. Can't say enough about him, like, you know.
Yeah, so just like Connor said, he is one of the boys. Like, as soon as he's in that environment, he is just like one of the boys. Have you you didn't play football by any chance to find out how good he is at football?
No, I didn't. That's on the agenda for the next time. But I think we're doing a tour with him next year, so we'll try and get a wee game of fives or something.
Yeah, because we're trying to get him. Well, he said he'll come on our team when we're playing a charity football game against Steelhouse Festival. So he said he's on the Crow team. Just wanted to know any inside information there. Is he any good?
Absolutely no idea, mate. I'm sure he is.
He definitely looks an elbow leg breaker. So you start working with Toby, which is fantastic. I mean, like I said, man, we're always honest, and we could hear the tunes live, and we could hear kind of the direction you were going, which, you know, you can hear it on the record. It's there in abundance, like. So you do the record, which is exciting. You're working with Toby, brilliant. And then you get the news that you're heading to Download Festival for the first time. This is now, yeah?
No, it's the second time. We played in 2018.
Wow. I didn't even know that. That's brilliant. Jesus Christ, dude. You're like a resident there now.
Yeah, it was I mean, 2000, like, getting told the first time was mental, and we get told, man, you can't tell anyone. Because if you tell anyone, you'll lose your spot, blah blah. And we were like, oh, so we didn't like even tell like our families, girlfriends, no one. And like this time around, it wasn't quite like that. We were like, we can tell our family. But yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, like we played Download the same year Massive Wagons played for the first time, and we're like, I mean, these guys have been smashing it for, like, you know, I think at that point it was going on 10 years, and like we're, you know, at the same time as them. It felt so crazy for that to be, for us to be there.
Well, that's why I didn't know that. And like, obviously when you said you played Download before, I thought that was your first time. But so the year that the Wagons played, you played then, which would have been 2018. And then the year that we played then, you did you play that year or?
No, we weren't on that year. That was 2019 you guys played.
That's right. Yeah.
No, we weren't there. So 2018. And then this will be our second time.
Right, I'm with you then. Christ, I thought you were already playing it twice, and this is like your third time.
Not quite.
Bloody hell, fair play. That must have been still exciting, oh man. Like I said, yeah.
I mean, the first time playing it was, I don't get nervous before gigs. Like I'm very like just happy to go out there, eager to go out and just play and everything, but before we were going on, because it's Download, it's the biggest, you know, as I was saying before, it's that gig that you go, oh, wouldn't it be cool if? And I was standing next to Matthew, our bassist, and I said, here, man, I'm kind of shitting myself. And he's like, Matthew's like, well, fucking pull it together, mate, you're the front man. And I was like, oh, yeah. But then as soon as we went out and the tent was packed and everybody's cheering, I thought, oh, no, okay, we're fine. This is the same as everything else. It's just Download.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then, so you were announced for 2022 now, you have.
Yes.
I mean, you've been announced for 2022. There it is.
Yep. If you look down the bottom, you'll find us.
So it's the case of like, so you played it 2018 and then you were announced for that Download. So have you been on every poster as well? Have you been on the same journey as us where I think we were announced for the first one with Iron Maiden. Then that one got cancelled, and we did like the Download TV during COVID, didn't we, Shane?
Mm-hmm.
Then the next Download, which would have been this year, got announced, which had the Biffy, Cairo, and System of a Down change. and obviously that hasn't happened. So you were on that one as well, yeah?
Yeah, we were on the 2021 one. That was a weird way to say that.
Yeah, I know.
We were on the 2021 poster. We weren't on the 2020. It was kind of hit or miss of whether or not we were going to be on in 2020.
Right.
And then I think we were maybe going to be on the last announcement of bands. And then obviously COVID hit, and Andy Coppin was like, "Sorry, guys." And then obviously I think because we didn't get announced for that one and we missed out on some of the playlists and stuff like that, he announced us in the first announcement for 2021, and then he's done the same for us in 2022. He's a good guy.
That's the thing, man. You get told in so much advance that you're kind of lost within it. Like, do you know what I mean? You get told you have to forget about it because you can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Then it gets announced, and then we were all in the same circus of like, it's not on. Then the next one gets announced, and then it's like, fucking hell, you don't even know which one you're playing now. You're like,
you wait so long to play such a huge festival like Download, and then when that time comes, it's incredible. And then for the past 2 years, 3 posters, it was a case of playing Download, and it's more of like, yeah, believe it when I see it. It's just the roller coaster of emotions is unbelievable for a band, isn't it? You know, you're thinking that is like the hallowed ground. That is one of the tick boxes. I just cannot wait for it to come round. It's got to come round, man. It's got to.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right, though. It is that we got announced. Well, we get told we were playing Download, and it's like, okay,
yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
it's all strange. It's mad. Absolutely mad.
So what tours, what gigs have you got coming up, man? That you can kind of that have been announced, like, you know?
We're playing Call of the Wild Festival.
Cool.
In July. Are you guys on there?
No, we're not.
No.
We're not. No.
I wasn't sure if you guys were on. Yeah, so we're playing there in July. From everything I've seen from it, it seems like that's going ahead. They're saying, like, you know, we're it's happening, we're doing it. So, you know, I'm excited for that. Like, we were actually talking about it today. I was in the studio with the boys today, and we were like, here, that looks like it's happening. We might actually get to play a gig in July. You know, we were getting excited. I think the thing is everything's been rescheduled and changed so much that I'm like, I don't know what we're playing and when. I think we've maybe got something, and I think we're maybe playing somewhere in September, and then we've got the tour with Ricky Warwick starting March 2022. So we've got that as well.
So are you boys are you boys getting together though and rehearsing and jamming and?
Yeah, so our studio is quite big, so we've managed to kind of do it safely, and sort of, you know, wear masks when we need to wear masks and all that kind of thing. So that's kind of been the thing for us, and it's just been, you know, writing the second album really because there's nothing else to do. So we've just been going in twice a week and just you know, throwing things about, and you know, if someone comes in with a song idea or whatever, then we're working on that. And then we've done a few, like we did the Download TV thing on Twitch that you guys did as well. We did that. And then we were rehearsing for our Live at the Dreadnought live stream that was done just on Saturday there.
Yeah. How did that go?
Yeah, it was great. It was great to just go to a venue and load all your gear in and play a gig and be semi-normal for an hour. So yeah, it was great fun. It was that way where we were like, oh, is this going to be weird? Because it was literally just us, Graham Gebby, who I'm sure you have met and has probably filmed you a couple of times when you have been in Glasgow or any kind of surrounding area festivals. He kind of had this big, massive setup. I think he had about 8 cameras on us, and they're all set up everywhere. And we're like, oh, this might be a bit weird. But as soon as we started playing, it was just, you know, you're performing to the cameras rather than performing to people.
Yeah. There's been a big debate about it. You know, is it the way forward, etc. But no matter how much I've loved doing live streams, and it has been interesting, and it's just been great getting together with the boys, you just can't, you can't beat that connection with an audience, like, you know. And I think it works both ways. I think even like anybody watching this or anybody watching your stream, they appreciate it and they'll buy it, and they, you know, it's something. It's better to have something rather than nothing. But even for them as well, it's just that two-way connection of, you know, we write, we rehearse to perform, they buy the tickets, they buy the merch, they get invested because there's that connection there, like, you know, to leave a gig. And yeah, man, I can't see it. You know, I heard a few kind of, I don't know, kind of Sky News kind of debates and stuff of people saying, is it going to be the future now? Because, you know, a lot of people make more money doing it this way. You can cut a lot of costs.
Yeah.
But nah, man, not for me. I think live music's never going to go away. And I don't know what you think, Connor. Do you agree there, or?
Oh no, I absolutely agree with you. I think speaking, it's funny because, like, obviously the live stream thing is good, but you can never like substitute going into a venue and there being a live audience there and a live band, and there's a personal connection there, you know, like what you were saying. And the thing I would say is that the biggest thing that I found weird was when I'm having to speak into the mic and you know, Shane, I'm sure you can agree with me here. It's that way where, like, when you're talking to a crowd, you have a slight conversation with the crowd, you know, and you know, whether it's a woo or a yeah or a boo, you get whatever is coming back at you. But there's, you know, to something that you say, there's something that comes back at you. But when you go, yeah, so we're Anchor Lane, and it's just absolute deafening silence.
Yeah,
you're like, I'm having to like make up a conversation here.
It is incredible, bud, because you could be having a really good show and it'll take something to connect with a crowd, a laugh, a joke, to like break the ice. It's like normal conversations with someone, a stranger you're meeting in the street. And from that, your gig raises levels. The way you play, your whole performance just raises just off the back of that tiny connection with someone.
Yeah.
And I've always said in the band, like, my biggest love is creating music, is to make music. And in the studio is what I love. I love making songs and melodies and what have you. But lockdown has taught me just how much I was kind of naive. I was like, the whole live thing, I was like, oh, that's second to me because I love creating music. Now I can't do it. Now it's leveled, it's pad.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I miss it, because not only we can create music all day long, you don't know how good that song is until you play it in front of people, how they connect, how they respond to it. And that could be the difference in how you then change for the next album. Do you know what I mean? It is a completely two-way thing. I miss it terribly, dude, and I never thought I would as much.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I'm definitely, like, I love writing music. Like, writing music is definitely, like, you know, it's the thing that I love to do. But I'm a performer. Like, I love performing. That's the thing that I feel I'm best at. It's the thing that I feel most comfortable doing, is just getting out in front of crowds and, you know, whether it's, you know, making people have, you know, clap their hands or screaming and shouting or whatever it is. That's what I love doing. And to not have that has been very, very difficult. We did one show in September in the Waterloo, funnily enough, with the guys from EMPYRE, and it was supposed to be, you know, socially distanced and all these kind of things. And it's that way where, like, you get told it's going to be a socially distanced gig, and we were like, okay, let's see how this goes. And so we played our set, and we did what we do. We went up, we had fun. You know, we had people singing along and clapping, and you know, it was great. And then we came off stage, and Terry, Massive Wagons manager, said to me, she was like, you weren't meant to get everyone to sing and clap along. And I was like,
yeah,
oh, sorry. And she was like, well, I didn't tell you. And I was like, to be honest, I'd have probably forgotten, got them to do it anyway. So but it was just one of those ones where I was like, it's just such a natural thing to go up there and perform and entertain.
Yeah.
And it's something I miss so much.
Yeah, me too, bro. Me too. It's like, it was the same with us in Germany when we did that live stream in Germany. And they said the same to me, don't get them involved. And then I was kind of taking the piss, saying, oh, don't clap, don't sing along. And then they did. And then I was getting eyeballs. And for me, I didn't realize how much, like, I move on stage because we weren't even allowed to like interact with our band members, like stay in your place. And I found that really difficult. Really difficult. And there was balconies, and I just thought, like, if we went back to gigs now and I couldn't get into the crowd, like I'd love to jump into the crowd, I'd love to get on balconies, I'd love to go for a wander. That's our show completely changed. So it is mental, but I mean, the good news is that Liverpool gig happened recently, and it's all been great. So fingers crossed, bud. I mean, if you can gig in July, that's incredible.
Aye, fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, man. And I got to ask you, bud. So, like, looking down at that, there you are, the backdrop there. You got long hair there, bud. What was the price there? You've had an haircut. Which I got to say, brother, is banging. It's
thank you, mate. Thank you.
It's a great haircut. But why?
Yeah. Why did I do it?
Yeah.
So I was in lockdown, and I mean, I've got this thing about, see, when people feel like they've got me sussed, I feel like I've got to change something.
Right.
So when people go, oh, it's the guy with the long hair and whatever else, and I'm like, like, no. Like, it's one of those things. And it was also just the fact that, like, at the point that I got it cut, I had been about 6 to 8 months without playing a gig.
Yeah.
And the best thing about having long hair is you go, woof, and it goes everywhere. And people go, that looks amazing on stage. But when you're just waking up every morning and looking at it in the mirror and going, oh, right, okay, just got to fix this. Because, like, you look at that hair and, you know, in the backdrop, that is hair that requires attention and effort. And when you're not showing it off on a stage, it's just not worth it. But I'd had it for about 4 years, and I was like, do you know what? It's time for a change. And I thought, right, well, it needs to be something that's still going to, when I walk in a room or I'm on stage, people go, oh, that's a hairdo. So I thought, mohawk.
Well, me and Ronnie wish we had that fucking option, to be honest.
I know. I'd love to go back to those days. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. So I'm rubbing everything on it just to keep it fucking going. Just keep going, like.
Class. Brilliant.
Oh,
well,
man.
Connor, buddy, thank you so much for joining us, bud. It's been great to catch up with you. Give our best to the boys.
Yeah, definitely.
And
thanks very much for having me.
And we'll hopefully join you on a stage soon, bud.
Yes, definitely.
Connor, thank you, brother. Take care.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much. Bye, everyone that's watching. Cheers.
Take care, Connor.
See you later.
He's a top man.
Yeah, man. Absolutely sound. Like I said, I remember when we played with them with Stonebroken, that's where the connection came. Top lads, in all fairness. The first gig, we didn't really get a chance to speak to them much in the first gig. It was all a little bit hectic. And when we kind of settled in, then I remember having a good chat with them, especially on the last gig we played with them, because I kind of wish we did more, because you're just kind of warming up. And you kind of get a feel for them, and you start listening to their set. And I'm just glad that they found their way, Shane. I'm glad that they found the right team. I'm glad that they've got the right band now, and everything seems to be kind of off to the races for them, like, you know.
Yeah, man, they certainly sound like they got the right team. Bloody hell, you know what I mean? Young lads, twice playing in Download. Ricky Warwick's on their album. Toby Jepson producing it.
Yeah,
they're definitely on the right path. But check them out, guys, if you haven't heard of them. Anchor Lane, brilliant Scottish band, passionate, love their rock music. Great album, great band.
Yeah, and we'll see them very, very soon. I can't wait for that proper catch up. Few beers, and we can really put the world to right then. Coming up, Shane, we have got the mighty Trucker Diablo. They're coming up shortly. I think roughly around about 10:10, 10:15. We'll be catching up with the guys with the latest release, chatting all about that. But like I said, it is a jam-packed show tonight. We tried to get a few on the go, and we will be checking in with the boys as well. I can't forget about them. They're in the studio at the moment, setting everything up, ready for jamming, ready for some writing.
They're probably just drinking.
You know what? That's the... Well, we are, aren't we? So we got the best job we have. I'm going to chat with everyone. But with that said, shall we have another guest?
Ladies and gentlemen, Crow family, another incredible vocalist, a brilliant band, Mr. Henrik Steenholt from EMPYRE.
All right, guys.
Yay!
How's it going?
We're very well, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, really good, really good.
I think you've outdone us with the backdrop there, bud.
I was so pleased to see that you guys have really, your standards have dropped, guys. Did you do this just to help me make me look good? Because, like, yeah, I went to effort, did a little backlighting, the normal stuff that you guys have got down to a T. So I tried to join in, and then this happened.
I'm sorry, man. We just haven't got the facilities to send it all. We'd need a trailer, wouldn't we, to take all our stuff to do it on the road.
In all fairness, it is funny. The true story is, man, the last time we came here, I remember passing Shane, like his setup for there, and just doing the whole double take and going, "You've brought your mic," and he was like, "Yeah," and he just carried on. I was like, "You brought your setup," and that episode when we were talking to Wyatt, if you look at that, I've just got my laptop with the laptop camera. So this time now, man, we went full guns out, brought all the mics, brought the stands, brought the cameras, and everything we possibly could, except for the LEDs, which are attached to our walls. That was the only...
It still looks smooth because you've still got the logo and the backdrops that you can change. And your streams have been so slick. Like from day one, I was like, how are they doing that? Right. What are they doing? What are they using? I want to know. It's like, yeah, it's been, enviable and great to watch.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man.
I mean a lot,
so much.
I mean a lot. I'm looking at the guitars in the background there, bud. How many you got there? 1, 2, 3, 4?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's another two on the wall. Yeah, I don't even consider myself a guitarist, though. I mean, my nephew came round, I think, like during the summer, and was like, "How many guitars you got?" And I was like, "I've got about 6. Should we go and count them?" And we went around and counted 14.
Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't know I had that many. Okay, cool. Whatever.
And how have you been, man? I mean, how have you been over the last year? I know you've been super busy with the band, and we'll get into that. But how have you been with the family and stuff? Have you been up to much, or have you just been trying to get your head around it? Or
I haven't been out a hell of a lot. I've been out and about, but the first 3 months were all right, and then it got to about June time last year, and I called up Did, the guitarist, and said, "I need to get down a pub because I'm about to fucking kill someone." Sorry, I don't know if I can swear on it.
Yeah. No. And Dave's on after.
So like we had a couple of times where we could meet. Did and I have been in a bubble, so we've been fortunate enough to be able to, and then when the pubs opened, we were like able to meet up, and that meant that he could then start to come round, and we could write, and we could do some like band stuff together. So that helped, and I haven't really felt that pressure, that cabin fever since probably last June time. So I've been all right. And aside from the lack of gigging, I was quite looking forward to going to lockdown. But then I thought, it'll last 2 months. We're back out the other side. We were still booking gigs for May, June, July, looking forward to the festivals, all that sort of stuff. And then when we realized, this is a little bit more serious, we don't know when this is going to end, then we were like, okay, what are we going to do? So seeing my family on and off, to answer your question on this, like, but I haven't seen them that much. I just had like 3 months not seeing my parents, and don't think I saw my brother for about 5 months, and that sort of stuff. So basically I see my girlfriend and Did for the most part, and that's been about it. And then even meeting up with the band, even Grant and Elliot, and just practicing and trying to write another album. It's been sporadic, I'll put it that way. But on the whole, I've been fine during lockdown. Haven't found it too tough. I'm looking forward to getting back out, but I've had plenty to do in the meantime.
Was the album The Other Side, was that a case of, because it's an acoustic album, and congratulations, bud. I've been listening to it the last couple of days. I think it's class. I think your vocals in there are so brilliant, bud. I got to, from a singer's just that's what I love, you know.
Coming from another great vocalist, like thank you very much, Shane.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. No, but generally, it's emotive. It's you know, you go places where I wasn't expecting to go, and the way you hold out those long notes, you know, it's I love it, dude. I really love it.
Oh, thank you.
But was that album, the idea of that album because of COVID, doing an acoustic versions just to do something, or was it?
So it was by pure coincidence. We wanted to. Acoustic album came around for a few reasons. One reason, we always liked doing the acoustic stuff. When Did and I first met, the first thing we pretty much did was just play some unplugged versions of Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots, and all this sort of unplugged stuff. So we were like, this is cool. We started up a covers band, and that was we were like a 3-piece acoustic rock covers band. So like it's like, we're just going to do what we want to do. We never like. Then we started getting wedding bookings, and we were like, we're not a wedding band. You really want us to play Plush at your wedding? Okay, fine, we'll play Plush at your wedding. So we had that love of the acoustic stuff from a long time ago, and we wrote half those tracks as acoustic tracks. Right. So it must have been like 2019 when we just released Self-Aware. We go, okay, what we're going to do next? We need to write the next album. Well, we've got these acoustic tracks. We could release 1 or 2 of those. And then after a few discussions with Terry, our manager, who also manages Massive Wagons, we thought, oh, we'll do an EP. And Terry said, well, why don't you do an album? And we're like, well, we could do an album, but like 7 tracks or so we could do. And at that stage, Did had already put together the piano stuff that he does on Only Way Out. So we kind of had that, and we'd played everything else acoustic. So we thought, okay, let's work out what we can do. Let's go and record it. So during the course of September to December 2019, I think it was then. I'm getting confused on the years because we've had that year that didn't really exist. Yeah. And then, so we had it ready, and we thought, okay, well, we can now start to release it during the course of 2020. It just so happened that worked out brilliantly for us in terms of, here's like 7 singles during the course of lockdown, and we were able to do that. The difficult thing was how to organize everything around it. Like, how do you promo an album when you can't go out of the house? How do you do a video? And we did videos for every single. So we got 9 tracks on there, ripped off ourselves by doing a radio edit of Only Way Out, and like put some orchestration on it. And that was just one of the things that Did and I were doing during the course of lockdown. We started mucking around with samples, getting like Spitfire audio, BBC Symphony Orchestra stuff, and then just making all the parts to make all the strings. I don't know how you guys do your synths and your samples and your strings and things like that, but I don't know why I never thought of this before. Maybe because I never had a powerful enough computer to do these kind of things. And then one day a Spitfire audio thing just turned up on my YouTube, and I was like, you mean I can have an orchestra on my computer? Next day, oh yeah, make it rain with the samples.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, we've seen on the circuit for many years now, but you do that acoustic thing so well, bud, you and your band. And it's like I've got 3 favorite songs now on the new album, and it's mad you're saying about the strings and stuff, because the Only Way Out radio edit with the cello and stuff, and at the end, I love all that. Me and Ronnie are big fans of the old strings, and
yeah, man.
Any sort of rock band that brings in, like Metallica did it, I mean, you know, and all the unplugged, like Nirvana did it, and so I mean, it's there, bud, and we love all that. But I got to be honest, my favorite song on the album is Drive. I love that, dude. What a great song, and it's so well acoustically.
That version came about with Did's riff at the beginning of it, where it's just like he plays this. It's not even the Drive riff, but it still kind of feels like Drive if you know the song.
Yes.
And he played that, and we were just playing in the practice room. He was going to do it over the verse. And we were like, what are you doing there? Oh, I'm just trying to work out this little kind of riff. And we were like, play it again.
Yeah.
So played it. It's like, that's got to go at the start of the song. Just that and nothing else. Just play that cool riff. And I think some of those songs are just translated. I don't even think Drive was one of the ones we wrote as an acoustic track originally. I think that was started out as an electric one with the original Drive riff, and then it just kind of grew out of that. But that's that more kind of classic rock thing that's just translated nicely into an acoustic. It's got a bit more of a groove to it, I think.
Yeah. We can resonate with that because obviously we did acoustic songs on the deluxe version of Point No Return, and we obviously did Who Did It was one of the first singles off that album. But when we re-recorded it as an acoustic song, the minute we played it on acoustic guitar, Dave come up with a new sort of riff, and it isn't on the original. As soon as you picked up the electric guitar, it's a percussion. You know, it's not just a electric guitar. So the riff for Who Did It is different as an acoustic song. So it was exactly the same with us.
And it's kind of cool when things work that way. It just sometimes it's luck. Sometimes you sort of aiming for something. But all of those acoustic versions, I think you've been so used to playing the electric version of a song.
Yeah.
And then you reapproach it in a different way. And sometimes you can bring some other stuff out of it, can't you? You can kind of go, oh, well, we've got a bit more freedom and there's a bit more space when there's no distortion.
Yes.
On the guitars, and or if you decide to bring them in, Shane, you play the piano, you know, like you're like, and then you can kind of integrate. I don't know whether you guys have done this with what you've done acoustically, but once we've got used to playing the acoustic stuff and gone, oh, we really like that bit, that started to creep into the electric versions of the songs.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like a musical outro, then like whatever Did was doing as a solo might, in the electric version, might actually, it starts to play what it does in the acoustic versions, and they sort of weave in and out of each other.
Absolutely. Blink of an eye was exactly with us. The minute we put a piano on it, that happened. Yeah.
It completely changed. And I remember when we did the Waterloo show, that acoustic version, we kind of changed. I remember like the bass drum pattern and the bass changing on one of the tracks.
Yep.
And that was hard to go back then. So I know exactly what you're on about there, bro, because you lock into something where you're like, oh, that sounds special. It's almost, we used to call it the Nirvana Unplugged vibe. Because that's kind of what we grew up with. Like you said, your Pearl Jam, Soundgardens, they were all bands that we loved and resonated with and have taken something from. But especially like I said, Nirvana Unplugged, it was because we were used to seeing this raw, you know, no matter what anybody thinks about them, whether you think they're packed with melody or they're just out of tune and screaming. That Nirvana Unplugged, they took all those tracks and did something completely different and brought them down mellow, and it was just special, man. And I think that's kind of what we've seen with you guys, especially in that Blackpool show, was like, wow, these are completely different, because we played with a lot of bands now in the scene, and you guys completely stuck out, which was incredible and to appreciate as well. You know, because I have to say that as musicians, because we were standing on the side when Shane, I remember that.
And on the stairs, yeah.
And going, wow, that's you know, that's a moment, like, you know, a real moment, like, because you can appreciate the hard work. Well, it's you know, people don't realize that. They think like an acoustic song sometimes is just, oh, well, I'll just take the live version and I'll just play it on acoustic. But you guys go to that extra level, like what Shane likes to do with us, and like what me and the boys will do is you almost change little sections, like you said, and sometimes that works backwards. You can take it back with the electric. Yeah. Sometimes it just becomes an animal of its own. But either way, there's a real appreciation for the time it takes to kind of explore that, like, you know, and that's off to you guys. You do it so well, man.
I really appreciate that, guys. I mean, it's always great to hear it from other bands that like we admire you for the reason of like just like what you can do. So when you're, and of course you guys are much bigger than we are, and doing a bunch of the gigs that we'd like to be doing, albeit that we played sometimes the same places, the same stages, the same festivals, and whatever else. But it's always like appreciating that kind of feedback, and you are obviously recognizing what we're trying to do. That whole thing of taking some songs, we put as much effort into the other side as we put into Self-Aware, basically, to make it feel like a proper album. We don't refer to it as album 2. I mean, album 2 is still the next Electric album, but it is still we class it as, wasn't a throwaway release. It wasn't just because it was lockdown. It was like, Ron, it was what you said about MTV Unplugged and Nirvana and how they changed things. It's a homage to MTV Unplugged, basically, and that Nirvana show, that Pearl Jam show, that Stone Temple Pilots show, and the ones where each of those probably had their moments in them, those particular songs that caught people's attention. Or I mean the classic one is the Nirvana one, isn't it? You know, everybody can probably, certainly I can picture the cover of that album of the Nirvana Unplugged. But how many times did you see Kurt in his cardigan? And they brought in a cello as well, didn't they? They had a few little bits of strings in there too. So I enjoy playing the acoustic stuff as much as I do playing the electric stuff.
I think what I loved about it, like especially our band kind of experimenting and stuff, is when I realized we could take it with a drum kit or with percussion, for example. I was really happy with that personally, because it kept true to some of the songs. I remember the joke when I just didn't want to sit in a box at one stage, because I felt like a lot of bands are doing that. It just seemed like a carbon copy of, oh, we'll just get two acoustics, we'll get out one of those, you know, and then we'll just tap away. And I kind of like what you guys did, because you either completely change it, and whether you have drums or whether you don't have drums. And that's how I feel with Shane and the boys. And he'll say that I'd rather not play and let the composition speak, because sometimes it doesn't need drums, it needs strings, or like you said, or a cello, or something beyond drums, or sometimes maybe it's hot rods in the background and you're just lightly just kind of keeping the rhythm there. You're not out front, you're just kind of there, like, you know, apart, rather than you know, fucking center stage, like, you know.
Well, I think it's cool when members give the other members the freedom to either go like, oh, okay, I think it's best if I don't play here, or whether you're a guitarist or a bass player or a drummer or even a singer, like if you think that's the song doesn't need you, don't play for the sake of playing, don't be there for the sake of being there. Like, got to do what's best for the song and try not to be precious about it. And that's what's sometimes difficult in a band dynamic. Luckily for us, that's never been a problem with Grant and Elliot, or these saying to one of the others, could you just stop playing that guitar, please? Because it's really getting in the way of, you know, the piano or something else. But that is, I agree completely with you on that front. Sometimes it doesn't need it. So just go with the elements that make the song.
Yeah, man.
I'm just thinking now, if I didn't sing, would you just become an instrumental band? Is that what you want, Ron? Is that what you want to be part of? That sounds great to me, to be honest.
Get replaced by just a cello.
We do, man. I imagine you boys are quite similar, actually, in the writing. We can spend good half-hour sometimes just on like a section of music. And get lost. And I can imagine you're quite similar there. Like I said, that's no disrespect to any other bands, say, in our genre or whatever. I just can imagine they have different styles of writing, where we do look at your band and there's quite kind of similarities there, where, like I said, I know we've sat there with top of my head, which would have been Sin on Skin, for example, Shane. And I remember just doing that middle section. We were jamming like for 45 minutes to an hour, rather than battering out a song or we've wrote another song. You're just almost there for a good 45 minutes, an hour, just kind of dampling with sounds and
see where it goes.
Patterns. Yeah,
see where it goes. It's not even a conscious thing. It's just in that moment, and giving that song the time to evolve into something subconsciously, you know, emotively. Just it's that shit turns me on, man. I love that stuff. I fucking love. Honestly, I fucking love it. Where you just get lost in it. You're not even conscious anymore. You're just reacting to what other members in your band. Do you know what I mean? They'll, like, Ronnie will do something and I'm like, oh, that sparks off something I'll do on guitar or piano or my melodies and singing, and then Lloyd will be off on one, and it's just I love that shit. I love it.
Well, you just haven't had that much opportunity over the course of last year to jam stuff. That amount of time that we got to jam, I think there's a few things that we've really lacked, and that kind of to get in that moment, because every time we've managed to get together, it's either to practice something for the studio or practice something for the odd show that we've had over the course of the time. And we've hopefully written the next and recorded most of the next Electric album. We've gigged one of those songs how do we know that how do we know that those songs are how they're meant to be? They're almost undoubtedly not what they will all turn out to be ultimately.
Right.
And it's really difficult to kind of go like, well, we think we might have captured the moment on the demo, in the practice room when we did that song. Did we capture it in the studio? Is that the moment that when actually you go and play those 8, 9, 10, 11 songs live that everybody's going to latch onto? What are the chances of us nailing, you know, like it's kind of trying to recognize what are the singles? Well, you've seen no crowd reaction. You've got felt good in the studio, felt good in the practice room, like, how do you guys do that? Because presumably you'll guess you're writing, recording and stuff like that, and new stuff that's never seen the light of day beyond the inner circle of those damn crows. How do you tackle that kind of stuff?
This is like where we are now in the studio. It's really exciting because we got all these ideas and these concepts of where we can take it. But you're absolutely right, dude. You never 100% know until you're in that live scenario and people react. But that's why a lot of our material live is so different to our albums. And like early doors when people came to see us, they were like, oh, they're a lot heavier, or we jam certain parts because of that reason. They've reacted in that live experience, and then we've gone away back to rehearsals and gone, the crowd went fucking nuts there. Let's do something there. Do you know what I mean? And then you're working on a live set. You know, you're not even thinking about you're thinking about the song and the structure, but you're concentrating on the performance. And we've always said from day one, the album and the live version they're two different animals. But I guess you just go in the studio and hope and pray and fingers crossed. But it will change. Guarantee every song we do on the record in the studio will be different live. And some shape or form, slight different here in the middle later, an extra bar here or a crowd chant, and we stop and we break it down and we build back up. It's just because the crowd tell us that's what they want. You respond and you react to it.
And if you had the songs that kind of like you thought, people are going to love this one, and I'm not so sure about this one, and maybe even when you started playing it, it didn't quite work, and then it's turned into being a bit of a fan favorite and those kind of things.
Yeah, like Ronnie mentioned one, Sin on Skin. I mean, that was on the table years ago, and you know, it just never came into fruition, like as a complete song. Some members of the band didn't like it, but it's our most streamed song now on Spotify, and it's insane, and everyone loves that live. So crazy.
Don't give a damn as well, man, because we always were like, yeah, you know, it's a banger. But we were looking at your blink of an eyes and stuff. I don't know how you guys are. You always look at, maybe that one's like that's going to be the one that gets on radio. And the first song that got on radio was Don't Give a Damn. We were like, what? It was like, and the crowd, and yet again, the fans are always right. They're always right. They're the ones, they're at the barriers, they buy the merch, and they were the ones who picked up on that instantly. And we were like, oh, okay, you know. And there was just other tracks where I kind of instantly thought they would be. I don't know is that the same as you guys, where you've kind of thought this is going to be the one now where this kind of catapults us, but then there's something else they react to, and you're like, oh,
yeah, it's really tough. I think like two of the tracks for us that perhaps like had different reactions of like Cut to the Core, we never felt was too much of like probably for me the odd one out on Self-Aware. It's quite upbeat and poppy, and it's a 3-minute song or so. And it's like, well, we're Empire. We write 7-minute songs, you know. And then you got a song like Too Close, which is more like a 5-6 minute song, which I really rate as a song. But like, I know that there are plenty of people that like it, but perhaps to me hasn't ever had the recognition that it deserves for how good it is. And then there are songs I'm really pleased about that really came out, like Stone. I saw somebody mention it in the comments as we were chatting. Like Stone is just one of my favorite songs to play live. But I think it's not even a song like Only Way Out, like Shane, you mentioned Only Way Out, an electric version, piano version, whatever. When we first started playing that, we were probably still gig testing it. Right, so now it's a firm like fan favorite. You know, how can we do a set without playing Only Way Out or New Republic? But back in the day, it was all up for like, well, today we'll do Just a Ride and see what happens. And then you just get, Why don't you play Anyway Out?
Yeah.
Well, we can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's difficult. Like, you probably experienced this too, when you've got like half an hour to 45 minutes on a set. And for us, when we've got like 6-7 minute songs, how do we put 7 minute Homegrown in with 6 minute 26 second or whatever it is Only Way Out in a 30-minute set? We've used up half the set. What are we going to do? It's like,
Yeah.
We were having to drop songs because of the amount of participation.
Yeah.
It was like, we were like, yeah, but put that one in because it's quite a short song. And then like Shiner or Shane or someone in the band would be like, yeah, but that's the part where we do like a 3-minute fucking jam in the middle. And you forget about that almost. So you start choosing them. Well, like you said, man, it's a really good, that's a good point. That is, what do you choose in a 30-minute slam on set? But we always just kind of went with the crowd, didn't we, Shane? We were like, just whatever they enjoy, we'll just go with that, like, you know, whatever feels right for them. So if it meant we had to drop a couple of songs just so the crowd could sing for 3 minutes or they could jam along with us, that kind of took priority, I think, didn't it?
So your sets, are they still pretty fluid then? You don't go out and go, okay, well, it's these 7, we're playing these 7, that's it.
Changes all the time. We used to drive the boys nuts because we might be going to a gig and Shane will go, yeah, I'm not feeling that. And the same with me, what I do, I'd be going, yeah, that bit don't work. Let's just put that one back in. So no, we're not a band who like, that's the first time we've actually been asked that. It's like, we're not a band who kind of rehearse the same block. There's certain songs that work, we're kind of playing around with how they go into each other. And but I think Blink of an Eye, for example, now that's on its, we'll call it his third transition of, there's so much we can do with that, whether we go a different song into it. Is that the right way to put it, Shane? And then different end into it.
Yeah. There's just so much you can do, so much space. You're talking about when you do different versions and different voicings, and then you let those moments breathe on certain instruments. It's just little pockets then that pop up, and you can change. And I generally think we'll be playing Blink of an Eye every gig for the next 30 years. I can't see us ever dropping it because the people don't allow us to. And that's a wonderful thing. But yeah, to keep it interested and to keep us motivated, little changes, little subtle changes that we got for Blink of an Eye. Well, not just Blink of an Eye, most of the songs, but it is, that excites me. I love that. It keeps us fresh.
Yeah, and you've got to go with your gut, man. I mean, I never forget, and I'll always tell the story of like we kind of rehearsed the set ready for download when we first played it, and Shane just said last minute, I just want to do Who Did It, and we were like, I was not on the set. It was a news. I'm talking now, completely brand new. Point of no return weren't even out. And you know, I don't know whether I said sleep on it or he slept on it anyway. He woke up breakfast time and he's like, now we need to open with Who Did It. He said, I just, everything felt right going to bed last night. And I think it's important for you guys, especially when you're fronting a band. If you feel that that's right, you almost got to go with it, because I don't know, that could add 20%, 30% to an incredible memory. Like, do you know what I mean? We're lucky it did work, and that's the story. But it created the bounce that we needed to start off the show. And so I'd encourage any band that, to be honest, just go with your gut and never be afraid to change things last minute. It doesn't have to be too routine.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. It's that case of like when we had similar sort of situation when we did Winter's End back in March, last year before we all locked down. I don't think we really decided on the set until the night before, like what we were going to do, and we were like, so as me, just like, with a pen. Quite often it's the way that I'll actually just write out the set lists before the gig and just kind of go, okay, we'll do that. I mean, I don't think we ever got to the stage where we actually sort of like take a look at the crowd and think, are they a rock crowd? Are they a prog crowd? Are they whatever? But it's just like, okay, what's the vibe? What do we feel like? And then build the set on that. We might have something standard, like we know what we're going to end with and we know what we're going to start with, but everything in between is pretty much fluid up until, anything to a couple of hours beforehand, just so that we kind of, and then we'll know what we're going to do. Set lists are weird things, and we're still talking about like what are we going to, when do we start integrating new songs into the set? Like festival season, assuming it happens. When do we stick with self-aware stuff? Do we throw in a couple of the new ones? We don't know yet.
Yeah.
See, it's mad listening to Ronnie talking about, it's a big call doing a brand new song as your opening track. Like, you hit the stage.
Yeah.
But for me, because we were going and do download, and let's be honest, there were a lot of people there that didn't know us.
Mm-hmm.
So it almost took the pressure off, people thinking we need to be something. And I think the energy when it ran, because it was a new song as well, the energy we were playing that song, it was almost like, bang, this is what we're all about. That was it went up a few bars just playing that song right off the bat. Everything has got to be better than it. So
had you played it before? Had you ever played it live before, like in front of a crowd?
No.
That is brave, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I know the pressure of playing a brand new song. Had you recorded it? Had you been practicing it like crazy? Did you know it inside out, or is it still one of those ones where it's like, yeah, I know it and I'm comfortable with it, but shit, I've never played it on stage before, so this makes things all that bit more interesting.
No, for me, it was like, this is going to be ace because no one's heard it. We have to, and for me, it was a point of, I used to have this Lego box, and I jump on it, and I would jump off it after I say who did it, and it was just the energy it captured. We hadn't had a song with that amount of energy right off the bat, and I just thought, if that's that energy right off the bat, every song that follows it can't drop now. So that pressure, it puts you on on a course to nailing every song. It's got to be that standard or go home.
And I'd say that's the same with you guys. I would definitely say a festival is a great chance to showcase something new, because they're not normally your crowd, are they? They're not there's going to be people who've heard of the band before, and then there's going to be a lot of new ears on the band, and they're going to be like, oh, I don't know this one. Oh, this is from their first record. Oh, I don't know this one. Oh, I've never heard of this one. And I think that's the cool thing about it. It might be something that's brand new that captivates somebody rather than something old, and like what Shane said earlier, you're the same. See, you sound great on record sonically, and then I know live you sound different again, because it's almost like you can really zone in on those moments. That's what I was saying earlier, those moments, and you kind of captivate a crowd just by like holding a long note, like you said earlier, Shane. And I think that's the key with a band. If you kind of know what you do and you're comfortable with each other, you just gotta go with the flow, man. That's how I feel anyway, being in any band, and especially with the boys. We don't play to a click at the moment, so a lot of
same way.
Yeah, a lot of things is just like, man, it's just off feel. And if I'm rushing or if I'm a bit excited, the boys like, oh fucking hell, he's on one tonight, which is normally every fucking night.
But how many times do you look back at a video and you think, how fucking fast did we play that song?
Oh,
like that song's a 5-minute song. We did it in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Exaggeration. You know what I mean? It's just like, and you're thinking that must have sounded terrible. But you look back at the crowd reaction or something, and they're like, well, they loved it. They didn't know. And I saw a comment from Phil Andre. I love this one. Also, nobody knows if you get a new unknown song wrong. It's a very good point.
Yes. It's almost a safeguard, because they're like, oh, I've never heard this one. You're like, thank fuck, because it's wrong.
It's like, so maybe we should make sure that we play all of those at the festivals, and then by the time anybody gets a CD or to stream it or whatever, I'd be like, sure, it didn't sound like this when I heard
exactly that.
Nothing like it.
Exactly.
Oh man, before you go, dude, as well, like I gotta kind of mention, there's been a lot of bands who've been so active over COVID, and I gotta give it to you guys. I mean, the amount of videos you've been doing, you've had multiple classic rock tracks of the week. You've got to be proud of that. I mean, the momentum of the band is still, I love that when you see other bands still kind of, you know, still plowing along, still kind of fighting for it to stay relevant, because that's what we all do. Even, you know, we do it. Every band, you're trying to stay in everybody's mind and everybody's heart. Especially like before COVID, you guys had momentum, and then it's like we all were on the same page, and where we kind of drop. But yeah, no, you know, credit, me and Shane were saying before the show, really hard working band yet again. You kept going. Did that help? And especially now with album 3 that you starting on, the new album that you're working on.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you said there, and thanks, guys. I mean, it's always nice when it gets noticed that you've been putting a lot of time and effort into things. And we came off the back of Planet Rock Winter's End, which was like our biggest gig that we'd done. And like you guys were saying, it was a festival where I reckon 75% of that crowd, from all the people we met afterwards, they might have heard the name Empire. They might have heard a bit of New Republic on Planet Rock, but most of them, they didn't really know. They heard the CD once and gone, yeah, okay, that's all right. And then something changed when we did that. So we were thinking, oh, this is it. We're on the road. Straight off the back of that, we got a call from Johnny who said, look, do you want to do Rockstock? Yes, we do want to do Rockstock. And it's like, so, I mean, you guys are on Rockstock as well. So in November. So it was like, oh, okay, things are coming together. And then, yeah, it went off. So we took it as an opportunity. I think that kind of positive, right, we're going to do something with this. We can't do gigs. We know that. What can we do? Luckily, we had the album to kind of bounce around and play with and go, right. So now we've got X amount of time to start writing Electric Album 2. We know we've got work to do on the acoustic album, but we've basically got the songs there. What can we do? We tried a little bit of live streaming. We did those sorts of things. Tried an Empire at home where I was flipping burgers.
I seen them, dude. You were making the smash burgers.
Yeah, smash burgers. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, man.
And just trying to sort of like throw out content and see if anything stuck. And it was all right doing the live streams, but wow, was it a lot of work? Because like the work that you guys must have put into doing your CrowCast to get the quality. I insisted I'm not doing it on a shitty phone with a crap camera that like is just going to distort, and I'm only doing it. So like it took me days with testing, running test streams, plugging it into the old Focusrite, getting an 8-channel Focusrite just for me, and did 2 mics, 2 guitars just to get it sounded decent. We did 2 of those, but it was a case of like, it's still not a gig though, is it? We don't know if anybody's out there watching, apart from we got my girlfriend sitting there going, got 80 people on, you got 130. It's like, really appreciate everybody watching and kind of taking part. And we did a live stream that was a pre-recorded live stream of a look back over lockdown on the other side on Friday. And that was really nice because people embraced that as much as they did of me and Did sitting there with guitars. Yeah. So I think we released 7 singles and like 15 videos, the Foursquare thing, a couple of proper videos, an animated video, and some of that we've done ourselves, some of that we paid other people to do. But yeah, you want to stay in people's minds. You got to do something. We're still trying to drive our streams and get people to listen online. And what happens if festival season doesn't happen this year? You know, we're all at risk of that. Another year for bands like us without festivals. Well, we got to do something. So, but yeah, I appreciate it, guys. I mean, I appreciate you having me on, and I think we've had a good chat. I kind of ripped it all to pieces as part of the pandemic and what happened. So what happens next? I don't know. I'm out of ideas. I've got but the next album won't be out until probably next year. So I got another 6 months to fill. I've got no gigs. I'm going to got to come with new ideas.
Well, fingers crossed.
I'll start the Empire cast. Can you
there you go.
We'll come on. We'll be guests.
Definitely. We would definitely do that, mate.
Brilliant.
Definitely.
Week one, it's those damn Crows. That's a great lineup already. Yeah.
Well, that's how it starts, dude. That's the truth. You come up with the idea, like, right, we'll do this. And we genuinely said from the start, we're going to get guests on. We're going to chat to people. We want to know how people are doing in COVID. We want to speak to the fans. That's why we did a few fan casts where we could actually see how they're doing. And then you get to, like, I don't know, double figures. And then you were like, fuck, we got to keep thinking of people. We got to keep this going. And then it does become
Keep
part of
thinking
your
of people.
routine.
But last week you had Andy Coppin. And, you know, I mean, the bar is high. And then me.
No,
Was
man.
it a slow week? Was it slow? I mean,
oh man, no. It's always great to speak to everyone. We've had Christ, it has. It's like I said, 58 weeks, an incredible amount of variety as well. You know, even from like Ruth Jones, who's an actress, MB. So yeah, man, that's why I was saying, if you have to think of other things to do, it's the time that goes into them. That's the only thing we did. Everyone credits us for doing this, which is great, and we love it, and we do keep it going. But it still takes a lot of time to, like you said,
it does.
It does, bro, and it's like your live streaming as you guys did.
The stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you've got to get right and you've got to prepare for, and like you guys have got to research everybody. You know a bit about everybody you're talking to. I've met, like, you know, we've met a good few times, but
yeah,
there's loads, and you've got to juggle that with all the other stuff that no one sees. All the smoke and mirrors of being in a band, of writing, recording, practicing, the day-to-day social media, and all the stuff that I'm sure you guys are still heavily involved in. As you know,
yep.
None of us are Guns N' Roses and, you know, Iron Maiden yet.
Yeah, man.
We're not
yet. But we
Hi,
are,
guys. You've done a great job. Really great job. Like,
but speaking of festivals, we are going to be seeing you on a few festival bills coming up as well, which is cool. Like you said, Planet Rock, Steelhouse as well, mate. I think you're gonna. Have you been up the mountain before, or
no?
Oh man, love it.
Really happy to get that gig. Just can't wait for Steelhouse. Yeah. That's in Wales, and then the week after, we're back in Wales with you guys.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. I don't know if you're the same. We were speaking to Connor just now, and I'm sure the other boys will say the same. You got so much kind of coming in at the moment, or now officially being rescheduled, that you're like, I don't know where I am, or that lost year, as you said, man. That's a really good way to put it, because you're kind of like, oh no, that was supposed to happen then. That's happening now. Oh, that's not happening now. That's happening in 2022. So, you know, we have to be careful all the time speaking on you, because there's stuff like we know is kind of happening, or we hope it's going to happen. And then you're kind of like, is that happening this year or next year? That's where we are, and we, Shane. It's like,
it is.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. I just so I don't have my pants completely pulled down, I've got a few gig lists in front of me that you can't see, just in case. But not all the gigs are on there. I looked at the band diary today. I was like, oh, we've got a gig with them then in October. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, fine.
Yeah. The diary is now with penciled. It's not penned in, it's penciled in. You know what I mean? And it's the rubbered when it's been rubbered out, the eraser. It's crazy times, bud. But touch wood now, fingers crossed. It's going to be a good summer and even better sort of winter. And next year, look out. Absolutely look out. That's what I'm going for, bud. That's the only thing I'm focusing on. I'm not taking any I'm not being pessimistic. I'm not even being realistic, if I'm honest. I'm being optimistic, super optimistic. I don't give a shit. Nobody's telling me any different. It's gonna kick back off again next year, definitely.
I think it will. And hopefully in the UK, we'll have the opportunity to be at the forefront of that. I know it's going to be tricky for us to get out to Europe and do those sorts of things. But if we can get that festival season, and then all of us get a good few run of dates in normal venues, get things back to how it could and should be, then hopefully, like, next year, full steam ahead. I'm sure you guys will have new music. We'll have new music. and full on festival season. And it's going to be mental enough when people get to. Can you imagine those first few gigs that we're going to do?
Oh.
I mean, our crowd is a little different to your crowd. We kind of joke in Empire that there's like a few rules of Empire. There's no clapping, there's no singing along, there's no looking like you're having a good time. Which is it's not what we're looking for at all. But it's, you know, like it's more about like trying to build an atmosphere and being in the moment. And sometimes people still don't know if we finished a song or not. So
yeah, you just suddenly like, oh shit, I clapped too soon.
It's always like that gap in the middle of Plush by Stone Temple Pilots that, like, we like brought it where it just switches back to the chorus again. It's not even a gap. It's just that when we played it in the covers band, we used to make it into a gap, and people would be like, haven't finished yet. And it's like that sort of stuff.
Henrik, brother, it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you, bud, and we cannot wait to meet you and have a drink and talk about the shit in real person, buddy. Take care, brother. Thank you so much for joining us.
See you soon. Thanks, guys.
Keep your best to the boys. Thank you, man. See you
Will
soon.
do.
Take
See you
care.
later.
Ah, what a lovely guy.
That was
Lovely
brilliant.
guy.
Absolutely brilliant, that was. As he said, man, we've played a few bills with the guys. I'm looking forward to playing more with them, honestly, and been following their progress, the same as you, Shane. And like I said, everything we're saying but there is genuine and true. Like, you know, that's why we wanted him on the CrowCast, so we can actually tell him, like, you know, these are all three bands tonight are bands that we have shared a stage with, and we've watched their sets and admire their work. Like, you know, that's the bottom line, isn't it, bro?
It is, bud, and it's you know, it's a competitive market, but it's a appreciative market. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love going watching other bands to see what they're doing, what's different and what's new, and I loved it when we saw them in the Waterloo. Well, like, we've seen them before that, but actually stop and watch their performance. And you know, Hendrik's laughing about it, but it is an atmospheric sort of set they put on. You know what I mean? It's a start and a finish type of set, and it's moody, it's atmospheric, it's emotional. It's yes, hear them guys, check them out. Brilliant.
Oh, definitely. The new record is out right now, which is available everywhere. You can get it at the moment on all the streaming networks, and especially head over to their website as well. Definitely go and support the guys. There it is, Empire, The Other Side. It is fantastic. And if you haven't checked them out, honestly, fingers crossed this summer, you'll get plenty of chances to do that as well. We'll definitely be checking them out. Like I said, I know there's a few bills we're on with the guys, and just looking forward to catching up with them. Honestly, looking forward to that. Like, you know,
I just can't wait to meet up with all these bands and have a few drinks. Can you imagine the carnage?
I know.
Oh my God, we're going to be so happy.
Well, the worst thing is, right, and this is the truth. We said the other day, fucking hell, right, we got to stop the drinking now, all right? It's game on. We got the gigs. The gigs are getting announced. We got to get into shape. And the worst thing is, you'll see all these bands, you're like, fucking drink, go on! It's true, innit, man? And I think I said it on a few episodes ago where your schedules are always tight. And especially some bands, they'll come and then they've gone by the end of the festival or the show or whatever. I think you'll see a lot more, if possible, kind of lingering around and socializing a bit more. Yeah, man, because it's like, you know, we're fans as well as bands, like, you know, and that's the thing, like, you know, so you can't beat live music. And I for one, am certainly looking forward to some of these festivals, you know, whether it be Steelhouse, Monster Fest, Ramblin' Man, do you know what I mean? All the ones that we've kind of announced that are coming up now, you know, never mind Download next year, which is phenomenal. But we got a few bumpers. There's actually a few more shows as well. We'll put that up when the boys come on later that we announced. Can't wait for that as well. Like, you know, I think that's the up and down the country one, isn't it? 4 gigs up and down. Bloody hell. Can't wait though, dude. 12 hours in a van together. Looking up. But it's a jam-packed show, like I said earlier, man, and the night is getting on. So before it's too late, shall we have some more guests?
Yes, last but certainly not least, love these boys. Crow family, please welcome Tom and Jim from Trucker Diablo.
Yay.
What's up, boys? What's occurring? What's occurring?
Yeah.
Firstly, cheers, boys. Hope you're
Cheers,
well,
boys.
man. It's been too fucking long. Been too long.
Cheers.
I love that. So Tom said then, fucking Irish, where's my drink? It's gotta be here somewhere.
I've actually got my beer machine. I have a beer machine here. I just don't have it on. I could probably.
Oh, I love it.
Whoa, hang
Love
on.
it.
You got to be a machine.
Yeah, beer machine here. Just here. You probably can't see it. I'm gonna lift it over.
I love that.
Get it over.
I love that.
There we go.
Oh, look at that.
Jim's got one too.
Yeah,
I
we
love
all got
that.
one each. We literally all got one each.
That's incredible.
That was our presents to each other for Christmas.
The only problems I've got gremlins in my head where I think my fucking head would be under the pump. Like
Yeah.
literally.
That's me every Friday. Every Friday after work, I'm like, right, get that on.
It should be called the beer truck keep on rolling. That's what should be.
That's it.
Yeah.
Beer truck is right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
things, boys.
We're not too bad, buddy. We're not too bad. We're excited. We're out of the house. That's the truth. In a studio, ready to make some music tomorrow. You know, start creating stuff. You know, there's no better feeling, boys, is it? You know, when you create music together.
Yeah, we're back next week. We'll be back next Monday, getting things kicked off again. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, how's it been? I'll send it over to you, Tom. What's it been like with you and the guys? Obviously, because do you live far from each other, or
they're a fucking nightmare. Only joking. We're all best mates. We are. We've known each other for years. Our last show was Winter's End last year as well. You guys were there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Actually, the next day we had a show in Liverpool. Sorry, that was our last show. So we went to Liverpool, and then we went and recorded the demo for one of the songs of the album. Simon, our guitar player, knew Chris Leckie, who used to be Dio's soundman. He lived in Liverpool. So we went to his house, and in his basement is a studio. So we went down and just laid down a demo before our gig that night. And then after that, we got the boat home, and everything went to shit. And we were like, right, what am I going to do now? So just like every band, we just started sort of planning and doing things online and trying to keep the momentum going and do as much as we could, just keep things going. But we had a set of songs, and Jim will probably tell you, I'm just constantly writing all the time. So we had more time to really, make the album better than we thought it was going to be. So I had all the demos at home, doing all the demos at home, got the guys around when we could, when there was some easements in the lockdown, and just tried to sort of make those songs the best thing that we could do for the album. So that's what we're doing. We're just keeping busy, and I got put in furlough for a couple of months, so I was like, right, this is fucking brilliant.
This is fucking brilliant.
This went full Bill and Ted. I was like, right,
How have you found it, Jim?
Yeah, I've been on furloughs pretty much as well, but it's been great. And as Tom was saying in regards to the songs, like it allowed us to hone them a lot more. There was a few rewrites went in there, which possibly we had planned to be in the studio like as soon as we came back home from those gigs in March, sort of thing. And I think in hindsight, it's great that we didn't, because I think that the songs, just turned into different animals by the time we got in like October, November last year, sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, from the band perspective, it worked out brilliantly. I think so. I know it hasn't been the same for everybody, but I think that we've been lucky enough, that we none of us are really, we're all holding down jobs, so that's one thing. I know there's a lot of people got hit very hard, especially in the entertainment sector, sort of thing. So, we have been lucky enough from that perspective. I suppose all four of us. So we can be thankful for that, I suppose.
Yeah, man. So everybody listening, we're obviously talking about this new album, Tail End of a Hurricane. Boys, I gotta say it, man. It's a great album. I've listened to it now. Well, you sent me the CD. There it is. tail end of a hurricane. I got sent the CD 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Brilliant, boys. It's been in the car ever since. I love it. I was really surprised though, man. It's a proper journey. It's like, there's 80s in it. There's like heavy country riffs. There's like Metallica riffs in it. It's got everything. There's even a song, Insects. So you think the songs, this album's going to be a certain sort of thing, and then Insects comes on, and you're like, what? It's like this heavy punk wild arts version. I love it, boys. I absolutely love it.
Cool. Yeah. Well, no, that's great. A lot of people have said about the diversity on it, and I think that's a good thing about Trucker is, it's not. If it sounds good, it's in. Because we know, like yourselves, when you go to any festival, you're catering to so many tastes. So why not have a good range for everybody?
Yeah.
I think we tend to put like a real solid ballad on our albums, but we didn't really do it this time. We have sort of songs that are probably a bit softer than the others. But it's one thing, we actually had a song like that, but it didn't go on the album. It was a song that I had written for Maggie from Fallen Red, who unfortunately lost his life there last year, and it just didn't make it. So there's loads of other songs that didn't make it, that could have made it, that are probably going to feature in the next few months on something, after this album. So yeah, it's just great to sort of be able to write stuff that's diverse but keep it consistent as well, and in your face. It's great.
Yeah, man. Oh, you certainly get that, but it's so
the only rule that we really run by is, as long as it sounds good, we'll take it as far as it goes. If it gets to a certain point where we decide, okay, that one maybe just doesn't make the cut, that's fine. But at least we haven't dumped something just because it sounds too light, or it's too heavy, or it sounds punky or whatever. It's never on the cards. It's always we take it as far as we can take it, and then we'll make the judgment based upon that. Based upon the final. Well, I say final product, but with Tom, they're never quite the final. Like, it's like you can go into the studio to record, and you go into, especially last year where we were we weren't all in the studio at the same time, very much at all, really. I'm up to record a bass line, and I'm wondering what just happened there, and it's like, oh yeah, Tom changed that bit. And it's like, oh, right. That's nice to know, So you're a bit off the cuff having to come up with something new and everything. So it's great. It keeps it exciting.
For the better, Jim. For the better.
Yeah, well, that is true. That is. Again, I think it's because it had that time to gestate. Every one of the songs changed over that sort of lockdown period, and I think every one was for the better.
Yeah.
So have you all got different influences, Jim, or? Is it a collective where you all got the same kind of bands that you listen to, or?
I think we have the same core. If the same core of bands, like you've got your Metallica, in there. You've got Iron Maiden, you've got Queen, those sort of things. But I think we can be a lot more diverse on the outer fringes, sort of thing. Tom loves his like his big 80s rock sound, and Simon and Terry be more into the punk, and I'd be more I would listen to just about everything from classical to black metal to everything in between, sort of thing. But I think everybody sort of will touch on different things, but we all have our own little sort of niches, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think that for me personally, I love loads of stuff. I love Springsteen, I love Journey, I love Chris Stapleton, I love just brilliant songwriters, and if you can take sort of some of those influences and just spin them into your own sort of style and in your own music, it's magic at the end of the day. And I just hope that these songs, when we release the album, people are just gonna go, holy shit, what have these boys done? They've been drinking something over there. Buckfast.
Buckfast.
Bit of truck fast, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, those influences you just said, they are, mate. They're stamped all over this album. I was shocked, if I'm honest, because I one song led to one way. There was like it starts off so big, doesn't it? On BTKOR.
Yeah, big yeah.
meaty riffs. You're like, boom, here's the boys now. Fucking excellent. And then, like you said, there's these 80s vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like this Metallica riffs and that Insects. I can't that what a banger that is, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Was that you, Tom? Because Jim was saying there about there's other boys that into the punk and stuff.
No, it was Simon brought the initial riff, so it was
Right.
his riff, and then he had. I think we were talking about this the other day. I think he had like an idea of where the lyrics would go, so he just gave me like a few lines, I think, or maybe a verse, and I just took the rest of it,
Right.
and worked on the choruses, and so I think Simon had pretty much everything nearly wrote except for the solos and stuff, which I had done, and then I just worked out all the melodies and all the verses. So yeah, it's not a it wouldn't be a natural style for me, but once we heard it, I was like, this is fucking insane. This is amazing. You know, and just from where it came from, Simon sitting in my room, when I think I actually done the vocals in one go that day. As soon as he was playing the riff, I just put it straight down. And then that's normally a lot of the ways, trucker songs happen. Like a song we had as well, Other Side of the City, which was a B-side on one of the other albums. It came off in 5 minutes, and the whole song was nearly done in 5 minutes. Honestly, I kind of feel that is too good as a songwriter. If you feel it in the moment and don't try and do too much, it's it's magic. It's great.
Yeah, because I went from Insects, like, oh, that's my favorite. No, I was like, the opening track, that's my favorite. Then I went Insects, that's my favorite. Then the next song, The Edge of Tonight, I was like, that's definitely my favorite. And then my new favorite was the Trade straight after it.
The Trade, yeah.
I think we're the same.
See, I just said they're all your favorites.
Yeah, we talk about ourselves and we're sort of going, what's your favorite one? And it's like, well, what's your favorite today? Because it is changing constantly, just depending on what mood you're in, what one you've just listened to a bit too many times, so it's great. It's certainly my favorite of the albums. Yeah.
This is your favorite album so far?
Oh yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the most, like, on our third album, we took a break, or hiatus. We were just doing so much. From the second album, I think we'd done like near 50 shows in 1 year, and it was just getting bananas. And it was kind of our biggest year. We'd done Foo Fighters, we played Download, we were doing stuff in Europe and in France, and there was just so much happening. And I think after that, this is well documented, so it's not news. 3 of us have family members with disabilities, so sort of struggling to sort of try and really do the best you can in the band and make it work, but sort of being conscious of taking care of your home life as well and your kids, and making sure that's all tickety-boo, or you're going to end up out in your ass, type of thing. So I think after the second album, we did take a bit of a break, but it wasn't for long. I think after a few months, my partner and Simon's partner was like, if you guys don't get this band back together, you're fucking out in your ear. So I'd been working from home. I worked for myself, but so I had a lot of time on my hands, and just a lot of opportunities started coming my way. I was approached by sort of songwriting houses in America, and they were looking one of the songs for an NFL advert and stuff like that. So there was a lot of opportunities where I was going, right, well, maybe I should just do songwriting and try and sort of pump that. So I was talking to Sony, BMG, a lot of the bigger labels about just becoming a songwriter. And then sort of Simon had come over and said, look, dude, I have a lot of songs here as well, so let's put them together. So the songs that I was sort of purposely writing to go on and give the record labels for other artists became the third album. So I think that time really made me a better songwriter, and then every album that followed after that sort of progressively got better through that experience.
Yeah, man, that makes sense. Yeah.
So
what were you writing? What type of songs were they asking you to write?
They would just give you like a brief. It would just be like energetic, upbeat rock. You'd go, fuck.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. BPM 170. Let's go.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So yeah, there was different ones, but ballads were big as well, and some of the ballads that we had done were well loved on third album, second album. So I was doing a lot of that stuff as well, and then they sort of translated into the third album, which really went nowhere, to be fair. We had a record company that didn't really do a whole pile with it, so we weren't too pleased. So we just said, right, we're just going to do our own thing and do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because
Sarah, go on, man.
go on. I was going to say you guys got a fantastic following. Do you find it harder being over in Northern Ireland, because obviously, you know, we're lucky enough to go up and down United Kingdom, but we found even coming over to you guys, obviously it's the cost. Everything becomes more of a cost. So we valued that, because I'll speak as I find, and when I seen you guys in Winter's End, I was like, fuck, these are great, because I love your harmonies, I love the vibe of the band. Like Shane said, the fact that you can go heavy, then all of a sudden you've got these twin dueling guitars. So I mean, I'd love to see you more. I'd love to see you over here more, but it's obviously, like I said, it's harder to kind of get you over with the budgets being what they are, and some people, let's be honest, they just don't want to fucking pay, like, you know. So
yeah, you know, it's £1,000 harder. It's £1,000 before you even set your foot on the mainland, you know. So, but you know, we are lucky, like you're saying, we do have a great fan base, and you know, there's demand there to see us play. So we have no problem, you know, putting up that kind of money to get over, because we know, you know, it'll be earned back, and even if it isn't, we've had a fucking great time doing it, and we love coming over. We have a great fan base here as well, but the UK, especially Scotland, of late have really sort of taken to us, and in the earlier days we did a lot in France. And then we were planning to do sort of some stuff in Germany. And then now next year, there's talks of maybe going to Spain and doing some stuff. So, you know, it translates, it travels well and translates well. And, you know, we just can't wait to get back over. We're a very social band. You know, you probably know, like we like to go out and have beers with fans and stuff, and you know, have a good time after, and probably end up in the odd ball pool or something. But don't be talking about that. I think in Winter's End, towards the end of your set, we were in a ball pool all playing. So that's a kind of, we're kind of like, right, guys, we're out.
Yeah,
let's do the best we can.
Yeah,
but nobody get lost.
I remember we were at one festival with you, and we were fucking hell, we were speaking to you for hours, or all of you would kind of come and go, and then some of you be together all at the same time. But we were just in a car park, just talking for fucking hours.
Yeah.
And like I was gonna stop drinking, and then all of a sudden another, I think it was someone would bring another bottle. Oh, there you go, there's another bottle, and then all of a sudden you're like, all right. It's fucking brilliant. I love that, especially when you're touring or you're gigging, because that's how you get to know each other better, like, you know.
Absolutely, and you know, it's you're living with each other. It's almost like a marriage. You know, you're probably lasting longer than some relationships. So it has to work. There has to be communication. There has to be compromise. It has to be a democracy. You know, yes, there's always going to be people that drive the band, but everyone else's voice is important as everyone else's. You know, and especially when it comes to the music and collaboration. And I think on this album there was a lot more collaboration than previously, and you know, I think it shines through this time. But yeah, like any festival, I think a festival you're talking about, Ronnie, is Call of the Wild.
It was.
And we had brought a barbecue with us as well. So after our show, we had like a barbecue, and there was people around having beers. So, but that's a way to bring people in and let them know about the band if they haven't heard about it. So yeah, great.
So how long have you guys been together as a band?
So we get about 11 years now. So we started just at the start of 2009, but we really didn't do anything because Simon, he had twins. So the first year we were kind of just finding our feet and finding, you know, who we were really, and trying to get our sound. And then sort of at the end of that year, we wrote Drink Beer Destroy, and that was just the end of it. Drink Beer Destroy came out, and everyone loved it, and it just went skyward after that.
Yeah,
I love that. And you said you had gigs with like the Foo Fighters, you did your downloads. What was that like, Jim? Do you enjoy that experience?
He hated it.
I wasn't doing that.
He was in the band.
You were in the band. Fucking hell.
I told him it was brilliant though.
That's it. Talk about the times that I weren't in the band.
Jim wasn't in a band. He was doing Lord of the Rings at the time.
He was. He was helping a couple of boys up the mountain.
No, pass.
But yeah, I suppose from my perspective, you know, Foo Fighters, it was just so surreal. It was, you got there and like it was just, you know, everything was taken care of. There was like the best of the best. and we met the guys backstage, and it was just like meeting like yourselves or any other band. Oh yeah, what are you doing? And Dave had his daughter with him, so we ended up just talking about our kids, like you would do if you met someone, in a bar or something. So we were just talking about kids, and then we met Taylor as well, and he was really cool. And we brought them T-shirts and things like that there, and they took them all away, which was great. And then we went and did the stage. And because we opened the show, as soon as we went on, the gates opened. So as soon as we start playing, you just see everyone running straight to the stage, and you're like, right, let's fucking do this. Yeah. Let's make this the best we could. And it was just incredible with BBC there, all the radio stations sort of looking to talk to us. So it was just like the best day ever, probably to trucker history. And then Download, it was amazing as well. Like one of our monitors had met Dee Snider on the way down. He says, look, if you're not doing anything, you'll come check out this band. And he did. He stayed for the whole set. He was side of the stage while we were playing. We got a photo with him. So it was amazing. Those are the kind of things I'm sure you guys have experienced too. Just going, did that just happen? Incredible.
Yeah. Oh, man. Fair play.
Yeah.
Do you know, I'm thinking, Ron, as you were talking there about beer and stuff, I think this could be the one band that could do us in the beer drinking. That'd be a good competition, Howard.
It would.
Yeah, it'd be a messy fucking...
Maybe a bit of a wrestle after or something. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, they were putting them back in Call of the Wild, Shane.
They were.
Yeah, I was watching them. I was thinking, fuck, it's game on by you, like.
Yeah.
Ask John. He knows more than anyone.
Yeah, he's warned us. Actually, yeah, he's warned us. Don't get in a drinking session with those boys. Fucking hell.
Yeah, but John can't drink for shit.
Oh no, he can't drink for fucking shit.
Can't drink.
Yeah.
Hey, John.
Right, John.
Oh man. So back to the record, guys. Where did you record it? Have you done all the albums in the same studio? Did you try somewhere new?
You want to take that one, Jim?
Yeah, no, we recorded in Einstein Studios, which is a little place not far from where we all sort of live. Frankie McClay there, and his son Jake run it. It's just, it's like you couldn't say it's work. Just the whole vibe there with them, and it's just like going up and visiting a member of the family. So it's just a great laugh from beginning to end, sort of thing. And so. It made sense for you to go there again, sort of thing. And, we had to work a bit differently this time around with because of the pandemic, obviously. We didn't get the whole having everybody in the studio at once sort of thing. We did towards the end. There was a bit of an easing of the lockdown around about October, November, I think. And then we were back into lockdown sort of thing. But round about then, towards the end of the year, there was a bit of an easing where we got all of us in the studio. But I don't even think that was for recording. I think that was really just for listening back, or maybe you were doing vocals at that point, Tom, or something. But there was no sort of I don't think there was any time when all of us were there, recording any real bulk of the songs as such, which was awkward. But again, I think because we had them so well rehearsed and worked out beforehand, it really wasn't too much of an issue, I don't think. And like I say, working with Frankie and Jake just made it so easy, seamless.
Yeah, well, I've recorded there personally for 20 years when I was in another band as well. So like, it's good to have a producer that you don't really have to tell, what way it should go or it's the sound. He just knows. So he's almost like a part of the band while we're there, and making suggestions to make it better. And he just wants the best for the music. So, it's just great to go back and do that. And like Jim said, I had the pre-production demos recorded at home. So I just give those to Terry, our drummer, and he just played along to those. And then we just went in, and like Jim says, they were so well rehearsed. We just got them down, probably about a week for everything really to get it all sorted. So, and then we just let Frankie do it for like 3-4 months. And then we just got the end result at Christmas time there. So great.
So you haven't played these live?
We played Rock Kids of the 80s. We played at Winter's End and a few other shows. So that's the only song we played. And we did an acoustic version of I'm Still Alive last year as well and released it. So that's it.
Wow.
So can't wait.
Yeah,
It's
I think
crazy, isn't it?
these days, you were talking earlier, Shane, about playing songs live and everything like before they're released. It's awkward these days as well because of social media and everybody in their phones and everything like that. It's not even called bootlegging anymore. It's just people have the songs and they may not be the finished product.
Yeah.
Certainly, the version of Rock Kids that we played way back whenever is a different animal again to the one that's there on has been released. The core of it's there, but it's not quite the same. It's not as polished. It doesn't have all the the nuances that the final version has. So it's nice to have sort of keep them a little bit under wraps until it's time, sort of thing, for them to be out there. I think.
Yes, bro. I totally get that. Totally understand that. It is mad, isn't it? Everyone's got a video phone now, so it's just like they see a performance and they just share it. They think you're doing a good thing, but as musicians, thinking, "Oh, that's changed now. It's not what it should be." Yeah.
Saying that, there's nothing I like more than going back and watching those videos as well. So I mean, I'm as guilty as anybody else.
Yeah.
It's great to see.
So, have you always played bass, Jim?
Oh yeah, from day one.
Yeah.
He's been a wizard this past couple weeks.
Never wanted to play any other instrument. For me, it was Live After Death. That was it. Live After Death. I heard at 13, and that was it. Wanted to be Steve Harris. That was it. So never lifted a guitar before that or anything. So.
Wow. What about you, Tom?
Played tin whistle when I was 8, and then I quit that when I was 12. and then 15. When I was 15, I picked up the guitar. My brother played guitar, and I ended up being in a band with my brother. We played in the States and played in Canada together for about 10 years. So that was kind of my journey. But I was introduced to Iron Maiden and Halloween and loads of other bands. But I think when I was about 15, my main band was Pearl Jam. I just loved the melodies. I loved the songs. They're incredible. And that sort of led me on to Metallica. And then I was listening to other bands like Cry of Love, Pride and Glory, just loads of bands in the sort of grunge era too.
Yeah.
Just loads of different things. But I always loved songwriters. I always loved solo songwriters as well. There was just something there just about the simple instrument and the voice that did it for me. And it's still carried through. I just love solo songwriters as well. And, just everything. You have to be into everything really to be a good songwriter, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, bud. I mean, genre doesn't even come into it, does it? It's like if it's a good song, it's a good song. We say that all the time, every week on
Exactly.
Podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Song is king. The song is king.
Yeah.
So what have you guys got coming up now that you can talk about? Obviously, summer-wise, you coming over here?
Yeah, we are playing the Rock and Blues Festival in Derby. That's on the 30th of July, I think. And then we're headlining Wildfire the day after on the Saturday. And then we're back over in Sheffield in the Corporation on the 13th of August. And then we're supporting the Boys in Massive Wagons the next night in Morecambe up in the Platform, I think. And then we have a show back home here in August as well. And that's really all we have so far. Normally pick up shows around the end of the year, so we'll probably do that as well. So looking forward to getting these songs out there and to seeing how they go down.
Yeah, man, I love that. What is the lockdown like over with you guys at the moment? Is it same as Wales and England and etc.? Because I know everybody's kind of gone fucking different, man. We get confused.
Yeah.
Because 1 minute we think we can have a drink in a pub, and we're like, oh no, that's England. Wales can't. So what's it like over with you guys at the moment?
We're probably about maybe a week or two behind England. So I think our pubs are opening next week or maybe the week after. But we're slowly coming out. I got vaccinated there about a week ago, so I'm looking forward to getting the second one. So that'll be me totally Wolverined up. So I can't wait.
Have you had the vaccination as well, Jim?
Yeah, I got as Tom was saying earlier, there's a lot of us in the band that have family with disabilities and so on. So as a carer, I was able to get it a bit earlier there, sort of thing. So I had my final job, second job, I think, next week. I think, and that'll be me. So.
We haven't even asked this ever on CrowCast. What jab did you have, boys? Did you have the same one or different? Or
I got mine in the ass.
I got mine in the ass. Do you know what? After I had my jab, because I similar thing, Jim. I had mine early due to my dad, so I could have it as a carer. But fuck me, I had a rough ride after it. Like, you know,
Really?
yeah, really rough. It was one of those where I had the I can't say the name of it. I don't know the fucking the Oxford one, the
AstraZeneca.
Vauxhall Astra. Yeah, that's the one.
Vauxhall Astra, that's it.
That's the one. Yeah, get it in me. If it means I can play a gig, happy days. Get me the Vauxhall Astra, not the Ford Focus, like, you know.
Just in a shot glass.
Aye. Yeah, I had a rough ride. Shane, you were all right, you were, when you, Shane.
I'm a fucking Marine, and I. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was grand. He was fucking great. And
yeah.
I think 4 or 5 days I was really suffering. I was a bit like, oh, this is fucking rough. Like, did you guys have the Vauxhall Astra or?
No, I got the Pfizer one.
Yeah. I got the same. Didn't phase me, you know.
Yeah, it's the same. It's fine.
Lucky bastards. There we are.
As well, give me another one. That's good.
Yeah, I've never asked that. We've never really talked about it on here. Oh. It's almost like, you know, just in case Bill Gates is listening or fucking, you know. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm glad, you know, there seems to be light at the end of the tunnel, and really looking forward to seeing you boys as well, honestly, now, because like I said, Winter's End, I think I was with Lloyd up on the balcony and we were watching the set. Really enjoyed it. Thought you were fucking killing it, to be honest. So
same with you boys. We watched you too. It was great show. Just worried about Shane going to fall off. As he's going to fall off the fucking balcony. Somebody catch up. My nerves were going. He's going to fall.
I know.
Oh, fucking hell. Someone asked me that the other day. How do I feel when I'm watching him climb over things?
Yeah.
I'm kind of encouraging him.
Oh, yeah. Go on.
Yeah. I'm like, see, I want a bit. And he's like, fucking hell. Yeah, I'll have that. Yeah, Yeah. But then when he does do it mid-set, I'm almost thinking, oh, fuck. So yeah, I remember the Winter's End because it was almost like he was right on the edge of that one. And I remember I could just about see him in a distance from the drums. I was like, oh, fuck, if that goes wrong now, never mind.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it wasn't safe. It was not safe. It was freaking. Yeah. I gotta do it.
Oh, man. Yeah, but new record is out on Friday, boys. It is Friday, yeah?
Yeah, it's Friday,
Available.
It'll be available everywhere. It'll be Bandcamp, iTunes, Spotify, so it'll be out everywhere. Out to buy physical. So we did a pre-order as well, so you can still pre-order it right up to Friday. You can get it on Facebook or wherever our website, bigtruckkeepsonrolling.com. That was annoying domain to buy.
Boys, I can't wait to catch up with you. It'll be a fucking brilliant laugh, a few beers and stuff.
I know, absolutely, dudes. Thanks so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Boys, thank you so much. We'll take care, right, and we'll see you soon.
Yes. All right, boys. Have a good one. Take care easy.
Thank you, boys.
Yeah. Rock and roll. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. That's you soon. Man, that was brilliant. Always a pleasure catching up with the boys. They're fucking great. New record is out on Friday. As Tom said, it's available everywhere. We urge everyone to buy it. It's a banger. Like I said, that Winter's End show, that was a cracker. They were on fire then, and I was looking forward to catching them more again. But the world went to shit. So fingers crossed now in the summer, mate, we can hook up with them, have a few beers, and put that right, like, you know.
Absolutely, bad. And it won't be the only band we're doing it with. I can't honestly, like Winter's End in particular. There's such a great camaraderie around that festival, and all the bands and stuff. So we always have a messy one on Winter's End.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Christ, let's plow on with the show because we got some jamming to do, which would be great. I'll try and get Lloyd to get me a beer now in a second. Should we catch up with the boys in the studio? Let's see what they're doing.
Oh, look out.
Oh, fuck you now. Oh, you ready? Oh, he's all right. It's just
me. I can't see him.
How you doing, buddy?
It's just me. Why can't I see him?
You can't see him, can you, Shane?
No.
just as well.
Can you
Can you
hear
hear
him?
me though? That is the
No.
big question.
You
Can
better be
hear me?
playing my guitar.
No, I got my own guitar. Look.
He's got his own guitar there. It's all black. Oh, he's had a few red wines because he's about to smash his guitar up.
I can't really see him.
How's the boys? How's it going down there, boys? All right?
All right, we've
Yeah,
just
good
been
man.
yeah,
Just been jamming, man.
jamming over
and
some
drinking beers.
riffs and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I
good.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, we won't be far behind you now. I think Shane was just having some technical issues there. Drums mic'd up as well, Lloyd.
Say it again, sorry, but
Are the drums mic'd up?
they're all mic'd up, son.
Oh, I can't wait. We making some sweet music. Did you catch any of the show, boys, or have you been busy?
Yeah, watched the
or...
whole thing. Watched the whole thing. We had a jam.
It's on
as
in the
well,
background, mate.
Yeah.
Fab. It's been great
It's
catching
only
all
an
the
hour
guys.
we were jamming, man. Just getting riffs, doing what we came here for.
Yeah, it's been great catching up with the boys, and like I said, if anything, it just kind of makes you want to get back on a stage sooner rather than later, like, you know.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
Hell yes.
Can't wait, man.
Hell yes.
Yes. Well, have we got any birthdays or shout outs, Shane Greenall?
Yes, we have, buddy. We got a couple actually. We'll start with Claire Hemingway. It was her birthday yesterday. Hope it a great day, Claire. Happy birthday, Claire.
Happy birthday.
Hey!
Aileen McTaggart. Come on, Aileen. It was her birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Aileen.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday!
Carl Backhurst. Guess what? It was his birthday yesterday. Happy
No
birthday,
way.
Carl.
Happy birthday, Carl.
Hey!
And last but not least, Victoria Valentine got in touch. Could you please give my husband, Andrew, a happy 50th birthday shout out, as it's his birthday on May the 8th. We are both massive fans. CrowCast has kept us sane through the lockdown, and thank you so much. And we can't wait to see the Crows live on stage again. Happy birthday, Andrew.
Happy birthday!
And that is the birthday shout outs.
What's the next lyric? It's lyric time. What's the next line? What's the next line? What's the next line?
So the lyric this week: smell the fear and the doubt. Smell the fear and the doubt. What's the next line?
I thought you said smell the beer and the doubt.
No, it's smell the beer and the clout. Smell the fear and the doubt. What's the next line? Go.
While we're waiting for the answer, maybe it's a good time to check in with Crow Radio.
The best.
The best.
The best.
The best music all day long. Crow Radio. Crow Radio. Available now via Those Damn Crows Spotify page. Don't forget to click the green heart.
Am I going to take the lead on this one, boys?
Yes, go on, Dave. Go on.
All right, Crow Radio, we put together a bit of a list based on,
Go on, son.
bands in our scene, right? Bands in our scene. So we started with Empire, Just a Ride.
Good friends.
Party like they started, The End of the World by
Tune.
Trucker Diablo, Fame Shame by Anchor Lane, Long Way Home by James and the Cold Gun, which is a member of X Holding Absence, is it not?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
It's a banger of a tune, that is.
Yes, it's a good tune. I Lose My Mind by our good friends Wolfjaw.
Tune.
Kiss Your Ass Goodbye by Jack J. Hutchinson. Remembering by Etherfield. Is that how you pronounce it?
Etherfield.
Etherfield, there we are. Give It All You've Got by Beth Blade and the Beautiful Disasters. Playing with Fire by The Wild. Unchained by Wicked Stone, Hit the Ground Running by our Welsh friends Buffalo Summer, Right Way Back, like someone cracking a can then, Right Way Back, Crown Lands, Nothing After This, Battalion of Flies, and The Grip by Rocket Dolls.
Yes, man, these are just some of the bands. It's available now. What do they have to do, Dave?
Click on the little green heart.
Dave.
Shut up, Lloyd. Click on the little green heart. Press the little downwards arrow, which will, if you want to save it completely, permanently, you have to click on each individual track and add it to your playlist. But if you want to save the playlist, little green heart. Oh, actually, a little arrow.
Yeah. I really want to watch. I really want to hear you say individual again. Can you say
Yeah,
individual again?
Individually.
Individually. Yes, guys, these are a lot of the bands that we've either shared stages with or we've been listening to lately. Especially like Dave mentioned, Etherfield. It was brought to my attention by I think Gary Spiller kind of put me in a tag me in something. Phenomenal track. Amongst the same as all the artists on there. Some great tunes. It's a killer playlist. These are just some of the bands that we know. There are loads more out there, and I'm sure we will do many, many more playlists. So go and check them out.
Yes. Do it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. While we're at it, while we're waiting for the answer, it's probably a good time to check in on Annie. She's given me over some stats. Would you like to hear them, boys?
Go on then.
Where are we?
You would. Do you know what? I've been so tempted for one of you to start reading them out, but everyone's finding it comical how I stutter over the words.
Yeah.
So here we go. For tonight, this week we are at Route 66, starting in Chicago. We head back through St. Louis, Springfield, Oklahoma City, New Mexico into Arizona with the 1,738.8 miles the Crow Fitness family has managed. That's what they've managed. Following our stop-offs in Crow-related business along the way, I found what looks like an amazing fine dining restaurant called Indigo Crow Cafe in Corrales. Corrales. That's C-O-R-R-A-L-E-S. I am sure I have said that wrong. That's Crow Cafe in Corrales, New Mexico. They have a Crow wine bar, apparently, while we're celebrating hitting 17,000 miles around the equator on our overall target. 68%, boys. That's how much the guys have done now in the world tour. So for anybody looking at this segment, or whether you're listening to the what I'm on about, which I'm stuttering over yet again, Crow Fitness are doing a world tour because we haven't been able to do one. So whether it's collectively running, cycling, hiking, biking, triking, cycling, drinking, winking, shalinking, exactly. You got the vibe. So collectively, as one massive family, they have been doing a tremendous job. So 68% around now. We're going to rest up in the Forest National Park. She loves sending me weird bloody words. Petrified. I failed in English. There we are. If there's any English teachers want to give me free tuition, Petrified Forest National Park, where crows are common apparently. Next week we will almost certainly hit LA, baby.
Yeah, man.
The end of that fucking segment. There you go. There we are.
Mate, you've done really well.
Thank you, Lloyd.
I'd be fucked up the first word.
Well, I should have listened to my English teacher rather than calling her a stripper. There's a lesson for you. There we go.
What you do?
Yeah. It doesn't pay to be
off my hand, please.
Really doesn't pay to be the class clown, let me tell you. There we are. Fucking hell. Have we got a winner, Shane? He's laughing because he knows the fucking teacher. And no, it wasn't Mrs. Morgan.
No,
no. There we are.
So the lyric game, yeah. Smell the fear and the doubt.
Smell it.
We smell what the rack is cooking. Because the verdict's out is the lyric. Because the verdict's out. And the winner is Andrew Davies Jones. Congratulations, Andrew. You have won yourself a pair of those damn
You're top off, Steve.
Fucking loves it. Absolutely loves it.
Glasses on, sir.
They're cracking, they are. Do you know what? Speaking about them, I had them on earlier when I was driving through Brecon, going over the bulk, and then I hit a fucking hailstorm. Did any of you hit that?
Yeah, I had like 4 seasons in a day.
Oh, that was when I was in Asda's car park.
It was
So I
incredible.
was chopping away.
So it was like literally, I fucking completed my Fitbit just by putting sunglasses on, sunglasses off. It was fucking you're on and off, on and off, on and off. But yeah, they're going to be shipped straight out to you after we've had a jam for about a week.
Yeah, man.
It'll be shipped straight out to you in about, I don't know, 2 weeks.
Straight out to you
We got
once we've
28
had a
days,
jam for about a week. There you go. Fucking hell, that was fast, wasn't it?
Oh, shit.
Oh, full screen him. Full screen him.
Go on.
Get in here, son.
Hey.
Bro,
Did you know?
oh, fuck you, man. What are you doing with me?
Have you got vans at home?
Yeah, that's it.
Pair of vans,
Got a
right?
van up there.
Anyone who owns a pair of vans trainers, right? Grab them, throw them in the air, let them land. They always land sole down, no matter what. Always land the right way up.
Now I understand why you were running around the studio earlier going,
Yeah.
have you got vans, man? Have you got vans,
Dude,
man? Have you got
He
vans
asked
on?
me, we were sat in earlier and he went, you got vans on?
No one's wearing
No, I'm in
vans.
cons.
No one's wearing vans.
This is a van up there, though. Oh, no, it might be a bit hard.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm wearing
So if you own
Adidas.
vans at home, everyone, just try it. Just try it. I know a lot of people have got a pair of vans at home.
Fucking hell, check that out! What the? What? Oh, that was close.
That is unbelievable.
Look at that. If it don't fucking lob him. Christ. Oh, man. Skills.
This is blowing my mind right now. This is
I know,
literally blowing
me
my mind.
too. This is literally the first time we've seen this as well. What? I get them because they're high tops. It's a bit more heavier. Wow. Go on. That's it. Throw them all. Fucking throw them all.
Shut up.
That is incredible.
See?
That's
Lloyd was
awesome.
on there saying, "Oh, I get my missus to buy me a pair of them when I'm pissed."
That's incredible. That's a
Yeah,
hell of a
it's
fucking mess to clear up, mind, isn't it?
I wish I was... Sam, why didn't you let me wear them earlier? To come on
Bloody
holiday. The boys.
You know?
Yeah.
I can tell
It's
you.
cool though, isn't it? It must be like the way they the soul to
Can anybody?
Weighted, isn't it? It's like weighted.
weighted, yeah.
Well, there we are. For
Look
those
at
who
that
are
minute.
watching,
No, it's like Steve Arnold. Duh, soul is heavy. A basic physics knob.
All right, then. Watch this.
Whoa.
Right, New Balance, right?
Hang on. Get this shit out the
Watch the
way.
desk, boys. Watch the desk, for God's
oh,
sake.
fucking hell, we haven't even started now. Here we go. Test one.
Yes.
Well, this shit, didn't he?
Unlucky. Check it out.
What do you mean
Landed on the
unlucky?
side. It's on the fucking side. It's on the
Yeah.
wall.
Exactly. So it's only Vans.
Well, technically, I got Adidas up here. Do you want to run up, grab one of my trainers, and take it
We're
back
gonna,
down?
we're gonna have to all do this.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
No, look on his side again.
Just sit on the lap.
I got no shoes now.
No, I got a pair of Under Armour today, and no, it's
Try
on
it.
its side.
You look like the caddy from
Try it.
what's it called? Happy Gilmore.
Well,
No, it's on its
Come on,
side.
give it a go. Give it a go.
It's on its side. On his side.
Exactly.
Unbelievable, Jeff. Unbelievable.
Exactly. So, Steve, I'm going to fill you in when I see you next.
Well, it's incredible. I mean, next time I visit my daughter, she's going to think I'm fucking insane throwing her trainers out the door. I'll be like, let's check this out now, watches. Get throwing them like. Landed, oh, didn't they?
It's good, don't it? It's good.
Brilliant, Dave. That's a brilliant fact. Absolutely brilliant.
Dave's acting like he come up with it, though.
No, I did. He did. That's what he's telling you, Shane. No, he
All
did.
right.
He did.
Really?
Wow.
Of course I fucking did.
Different out there, you idiot.
Of course I bloody did. And I inspired all those videos across the world.
Across the world.
Oh, fabulous.
You are an inspiration, David.
Yeah, an inspiration on what to not to be like.
Before we move on, boys, we started talking about it earlier about gigs, because that's been the topic tonight, is catching up with everybody. Just a reminder for everybody, top to bottom in 4 days. We start off in glorious Bridgend. We're gonna hit that motorway. We're gonna hit it hard. We're gonna get over to Derby. Yeah, where can they catch us in Derby, David?
The hairy dog.
Exactly that. I was just testing you. Then we leave Derby and we'll get back in our van and we'll have many jokes. And where are we heading after Derby, Lloyd?
The Ironworks. Inverness.
Exactly. We are going right up country, right up to the top. And we're going to be visiting Inverness for our friends Monster Fest. And then we come back down. And we go to Sheffield. The corporation, we've been asked to play there for many years. It's happening. We come down from Scotland. We will visit Sheffield. And then we head back to Wales to play Shane. Look at the map. Look at the map.
Shane, your trouble.
I think it's pronounced Puthcall.
That's it. Kind of.
You are.
It's better than my Crow Fitness fucking segment. Anyway, there we go. So yes, we go to play the glorious Planet Rockstock, which we can't wait. So yeah, that's 2. That's not 2. That says top, you idiot. Top to bottom in 4 fucking days. There you go. That's what it says, Mush. No problem. Happy days. Happy days.
Let's give it a bit more juice. Can't quite hear you, Ron. Carry on.
There we are. Anyway, we're going to jam because we're at a secret location. We haven't seen each other, as you can tell. We're very excited tonight. We got you. We settled in. We set up for CrowCast. The drums have been mic'd up. The guitar amps have been mic'd up. We shall be making noise. We have a couple of beers in the background. So for anybody still with us, you can check us out on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram. We are live tonight on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Live. Go and add us on Twitter as well. Or if you like your eggs all in one basket, the same as me, nice and simple, nothing complicated, head over to www.thosedamncrows.com. We have plenty of shows being announced constantly, actually. At the moment, we're trying to catch up with them ourselves. So get over to the website. You can see what's been announced. Also, our beer is for sale, so you can see where to buy it. Crow Fitness, what we were talking about earlier. Go and join the guys. Join in on the fun. Everybody motivates everybody. And most importantly, head over to our merch page where we still have limited stock left of the women's t-shirts. There's hoodies, there's t-shirts. You can find out the beer, like I said, and I think there's only a couple of sunglasses, and maybe if you're lucky, a couple of prints of Shane Greenall as well. If they're lucky, Shane. So without further, he's disappeared. He has. You know what's coming, don't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, one-liner, shiner.
Desk. Shine it to the front desk. Shine it to the front desk.
announcement.
We're trying to
Staff
make his way to the
announcement.
front desk.
Come on, Shane. I'll get to be honest. Have a seat.
Oh, sit your seat with me. Hey, fucking is, man.
Look at David. Get out of the way, Dave.
Come on, play the fucking thing.
We've
It's
already played
played.
it.
We played it. Here we are.
Let me just turn you up a bit, Shine.
Here we are.
Bit loud.
What are you fucking up to? So, hello, people, and goodbye.
Look at that.
Well, I'm sure. That is that. That is simple. That is perfect, actually.
Quick mute.
This fucker's been pestering me all night.
We'll come down and save you now, Shiner.
Yes.
We'll come down and
Yeah,
save
Ron,
you, son.
Save me.
We'll get Ronnie out the broom cupboard now and we'll come down. We'll have a jam. Crow family, thank you so much for joining us every Tuesday. As always, you're incredible. We love you to bits. We'll catch you next Tuesday, episode 59. See you then.
Keep pausing.